and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay.
So these is MLB Network talent stars.
Okay.
The stars of MLB Network. Can I trade a pack of these for a signed Lawrence Shahadi card?
How about we do a little bit of both? Money, a little trade.
Will you open it up and see if you like it?
They're really nice.
If I sign it, does that equal the Lawrence Shahadi 20?
All right.
Do we have a good trade?
We have a good trade. Thank you so much. That was fun.
Nice doing business with you.
A snack that Freddie cannot resist.
I would have to say chips and guacamole. Organic mango, yeah.
Is that because of the strong Dominican contingent in the major leagues, bro? Has anybody ever struck out and gone crazy and smashed the cooler full of mangoes?
Nah, our team's not really into smashing each other's stuff, I guess.
Are you a seasoning guy? You like to drown your stuff in dips and sauces?
No. Gotta watch my figure.
And it looks great, brother.
I appreciate it.
Very sexy man.
Yeah,
Let's go, Freddie Freeman, ladies and gentlemen.
Guess who that is? Roger McDowell.
Check him out. He has his uniform on upside down with the shoes on the hand, and it looks like he's walking on his hands. Has his cap hanging down. That's supposed to be his head. Well, the Mets really trying to turn it around. They do, however, trail in this ball game 4-0. I love that.
Central air conditioning system is out of your budget? Think again. Sloman's is here to change the game with sizzling summer savings. They're offering cutting-edge 18-SEER 2025 refrigerant-compliant R454B systems expertly installed by their certified technicians, all at the lowest prices of the year. That's right. Get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Every new installation comes with a comprehensive 5-year all-inclusive service plan, including annual system checks, filter replacement, and refrigerant to keep your AC running smoothly all summer long. Stay cool and worry-free this summer. Don't miss out. Call Sloman's today at 516-932-7000 for your free AC estimate. But hurry, these cool savings won't last. Call 516-932-7000. That's 516-932-7000. Subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply.
Like most car buyers, you want to get the most for your money. That's why more Mazda buyers choose Ramsey Mazda. Get impressive offers on a new Mazda CX-30 or a Mazda CX-5 starting at just $29,276. Over 1,000 new Mazda vehicles to choose from. Visit RamseyMazda.com. Get the most for your money at Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Let's get moving with Centers Healthcare. Centers Healthcare has a different approach to care. Here, you rehab, relax, recover, and go home. Our state-of-the-art technology empowers your rehab journey with us. Healing from surgery now comes with amenities like Starbucks, smart TVs, and personalized recreation. At Centers Healthcare, what matters most is getting you back to the life you had. Visit centershealthcare.com today or call us at 800-305-9151. Centers Healthcare. We're not just care. We are care that moves you.
Hey everyone, Boomer here. How long have I been talking about the Chef IQ Sense wireless thermometer? You know how much I love it, but check out what one of our listeners says. It's phenomenal. You want to make a brisket, you look at your phone and your mouth starts watering when you've got 20 minutes left. Phenomenal. The Chef IQ Sense is the wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat. Whether cooking on a stovetop, oven, or grill, the app alerts you when everything's done. Order the newly released 3rd generation Chef IQ Sense now at chefiq.com.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things. Like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Welcome back to the New York Mets pregame show. My name is Keith Radd from Citi Field. The Mets and the Yankees coming up in just a couple of minutes. Time for today's Player to Bank On, brought to you by California Cryobank. Build your family with the #1 sperm bank in the world. Our player to bank on today, Pete Alonso. He is tied with David Wright for the most home runs by any Met against the Yankees. Both are tied with 9 long balls against the Bronx Bombers. Look for Alonso to break out as the Mets look to establish their strong home field advantage in the Subway Series. It's Justin Hageman for the Mets, Marcus Stroman going for the Yankees. That'll do it for the Mets pregame show. When we get back, Howie Rose joins us for lineups and first pitch between the Mets and the Yanks. Enjoy the ball game. This has been the Mets pregame show on Odyssey Mets Radio.
This has been the Odyssey Mets pregame show, brought to you by Spectrum. Get fast and reliable speeds on the network that moves with you. Spectrum, RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together. Visit rwjbh.org. Margaret Tietz Nursing and Rehabilitation Center, Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, Roto-Rooter, America's Neighborhood Plumber, Route 4 Hyundai, in Paramus, New Jersey, Invesco QQQ, the official ETF of the New York Mets, Invesco Distributors, Inc., Westbury Toyota, #1 in the tri-state, and proud broadcast sponsor of Odyssey Mets Radio, Peerless Boilers. Visit peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. And by ELEC 825, building our future. This is Odyssey Mets.
A lot of baseball fans have some familiarity with the T206 American Tobacco card set. Of course, features the famous Hannes Wagner card. What we have here are 3 cards from the lesser-known T205 set, which really was a successor to T206. T206 came out in 1909. These 3 cards, as part of the T205 set, came out in 1911. Beatty sends a high drive, right center field. Tucker is back to the wall, and it's gone! Into the Chicago bullpen.
Diaz sets. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Put it in the books.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you by Nissan. Lower MSRP, bigger adventures. Hurry to your Nissan dealer for a test drive. Invesco QQQ, the official ETF of the New York Mets. Invesco Distributors, Inc. The New York Lottery. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly. The Rothenberg Law Firm. InjuryLawyer.com. Cadillac and your tri-state Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets. Thrivewell Infusion, the official IV partner of Mets Radio. Veg, ER for Pets, official emergency veterinarian group of Mets Radio. Optimum Fiber, don't take slow for an answer. The Chef IQ Sense, never under or overcook your chicken, fish, or meat again. Buy yours today at chefiq.com. Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's cars with a K. To donate your car today. And by Sloman's. The difference is human.
From Citi Field in Flushing, Queens, welcome to New York Mets baseball. This afternoon, the New York Mets face the New York Yankees in the second installment of this year's Subway Series. And the starting pitchers this afternoon for the Yankees, the former Mets right-hander Marcus Stroman, and for the Mets, making his first Major League start and only his third appearance, right-hander Justin Hagenman. Hi again, everyone. I'm Howie Rose along with Keith Radd. Well, maybe the Mets are on a bit of an uptick, having taken 2 of 3, including the last 2 in a row from the Milwaukee Brewers, a 3-2 win last night. And so they gained a half game on the Phillies, who were not scheduled last evening. So the Mets start play today 50-38, a game and a half behind first place Philadelphia in the National League East. Meanwhile, the Yankees were just swept in a 4-game series in Toronto. They actually got home and probably into their bed somewhere in the 3:30, 4 o'clock a.m. vicinity after flying in from Toronto, and they've got to play a late afternoon game today. But anyway, the 4-game sweep in the hands of the Blue Jays put Toronto above the Yankees and into first place in the American League East by a full game. The Yankees are 48-39. Our game time temperature is brought to you by Peerless Boilers. Visit peerlessboilers.com for information and a dealer near you. And remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers. We're hoping that you have a wonderful, safe, and enjoyable 4th of July. We've got ideal weather conditions, sunny skies, 81 degrees at game time. We'll come back to look at the pitching matchup next on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Murano.
New York baseball fans ready to knock your future out of the park? Discover Malloy University, just 35 minutes from Manhattan. Get personal mentoring, academic excellence, and a vibrant campus life. Choose from over 80 undergraduate.
With these designs, I wanted to bring out the Old English letter font, but add a twist to it. This is one I've developed over the years and used on a lot of tattoos. You could tell a sign painter or a lettering person by their numbers. That reveals a lot about them. It's an honor to design for the Dodgers. It's almost gone beyond sports, even into fashion. People wear LA caps all over the world.
My security right there. That's the bad one, Roscoe Pico train.
Major League Baseball wanted to start doing something with the players and their dogs.
Which one's the dog?
I was undecided on whether to do a dog card or not, but my wife pushed me in the back and she wanted a famous dog, so she told me to do it.
For the Yankees, Marcus Stroman, his second start back off the IL, will pitch for the Yankees. And for the Mets, well, at the start, it's going to be Justin Hagenman, and who knows how far he can go because the Mets really have pitching challenges this weekend, Keith.
Yeah, the only one that we really knew about was tomorrow, Frankie Montas starting. It was going to be a TBA decision on Sunday. Today was supposed to be Paul Blackburn, but then he got hurt coming out of that start in Pittsburgh, where the Mets sent him out there after a 90-minute rain delay. So we found out literally walking in this morning that it would be Justin Hagenman making the start, and he didn't know either because he was almost going to pitch yesterday out of the bullpen. But for Hagenman, he has made 2 other extended relief appearances this year in his rookie season. One in Minnesota, pretty good. One in Atlanta, also pretty good. The Mets are going to ask him to go out there and maybe go through the lineup twice, maybe get through 5 innings if they are lucky. Meanwhile, Marcus Stroman, certainly not his first Major League start, his 257th Major League start and his 5th one this year with the Yankees. 34-year-old from Long Island, went to Patchogue Medford High School, first-round pick of Toronto out of Duke, pitching in his 11th Major League season. That is today's pitching matchup, sponsored by Ridgewood Savings Bank, multiplying the good for over 100 years. We'll come back with the starting lineups and first pitch on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Murano.
Oppo Taco.
I'm going to guess it's an opposite field, upper deck, maybe something like a...
Yeah, home run to the opposite field.
Yeah.
You got it.
This is a good one, a hack.
I don't know. I mean, is it the same as like the layman's term hack, like a bad chef?
You've guessed correctly.
Okay.
Someone's a hack, you know, someone that's just mailing it in.
Yeah.
They're not putting their heart into it.
Corp.com.
Welcome back to Citi Field, the first of three between the Mets and the Yankees on this 4th of July weekend. Time for today's starting lineup, sponsored by Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda first for the visiting New York Yankees, coming in at 48-39. Second place in the American League East, a game back of Toronto. Aaron Boone has Jason Dominguez leading off, playing left field. Aaron Judge plays right and bats second. Cody Bellinger in center field today, batting third. The DH cleanup man, John Carlos Stanton. And it's the third baseman, Jazz Chisholm Jr. batting fifth. Paul Goldschmidt hits sixth and plays first base. Catcher J.C. Escarra back there today, hitting seventh. The shortstop, Anthony Volpe, bats eighth. And veteran DJ LeMahieu bats ninth as the second baseman. Marcus Stroman on the mound for the Yankees. Stroman in just 4 starts this year. 3 before he got hurt, came back last time out against the A's. All told, an 8.16 ERA, which is certainly not what Marcus Stroman is about. Now for the New York Mets, 50 wins now and 38 losses, a game and a half behind Philadelphia for second place in the National League East. Brandon Nimmo in the leadoff spot today, playing left field. Francisco Lindor, the shortstop, bats second. Juan Soto in right field, batting third. First baseman Pete Alonso is the Mets cleanup hitter, presented by ServPro. Cleanup, restoration, construction, like it never even happened. Jeff McNeil is at second base, batting fifth. The catcher today, Luis Torrens, hits sixth. Brett Beatty at third base, batting seventh. Ronnie Mauricio hits eighth as the designated hitter. And a center fielder for Carlos Mendoza's Mets is Tyrone Taylor, batting ninth. Justin Hagenman making just his third Major League appearance and first start in the majors. 28 years old, from Voorhees, New Jersey, went to Bishop Eustace Prep down there in South Jersey. For the Mets, they are wearing the home white pinstripes. The Yankees are wearing those road grays. 4th of July hats, though, for both teams. Now, I will say the hat on its own is a nice-looking garment. On top of the Yankees gray jersey, and on top of the Mets jersey, it looks fine, but it is a blue hat with a Met color blue brim. The NY interlocking on the front has the American flag imprinted in it. And just for good measure, they've added a lace that goes on top of the brim, tucked against the hat like a shoelace, in white, dotted and sprinkled in a little bit of red. So red, white, and blue for both of these teams. But forget the hats. It's the Subway Series. Jason Dominguez walking toward home plate, walking up to the microphone, the Hall of Fame radio voice of the New York Mets, Howie Rose.
All right, thanks, Keith. I guess the hats are considered powder blue. They almost look teal. It's like everybody on the field or one of the original Florida Marlins. It's a weird look, but whatever. Jason Dominguez, the Martian, in the leadoff for the Yankees. Hagenman's first pitch, a fastball low, ball one, a 93-mile-an-hour sinker as we're underway. Dominguez on a 5-game hitting streak, batting .267, and the 1-0 taken to the knees for a called strike, a fastball. And it's 1-1. He's got 6 home runs, 30 runs batted in.
Hageman works quickly. The 1-1 hit foul off the foot of Dominguez, and the ball rolls out past the mound all the way towards second base, where Francisco Lindor has to go pick it up, and that had to have hurt Dominguez, who's taken a little extra time outside the batter's box, trying to walk it off. And this is a guy who's had some serious injuries. He hurt his elbow, needed Tommy John surgery. He had an oblique injury, which cost him a significant amount of time last year. But Dominguez showing signs of being the player that the Yankees gave an over $5 million signing bonus to when they did sign him out of the Dominican Republic. And boy, they hyped him as a huge prospect. Built like a fire hydrant, 5'10", 200. Now the 1-2 to him is up and in with a fastball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And they actually were making comparisons between Dominguez and Mickey Mantle and Mike Trout and Bo Jackson. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball down and in, a slider, and it's a full count to Dominguez. He had a 4-hit game yesterday in Toronto, so maybe that enabled him to get a little bit better sleep than most of his teammates, considering how late they got in. Ridiculous scheduling, isn't it? Payoff pitch, fastball drilled in the air, deep left center. Taylor on the run, onto the track. It's gone. A home run to the opposite field, to the left of the 370 mark, into the Fiesta deck. Jason Dominguez with his 7th home run of the year, and the Yankees take an instant 1-0 lead.
Well, for Hageman, you hate to give it up in your own house to start the weekend, but for the Yankees, this is just what they do. Second most home runs in the game, only trailing the Los Angeles Dodgers. And you said Dominguez is hot. He's really hot, especially as a switch hitter batting left against righties.
So all of that, and now Dominguez has to deal with Aaron Judge, the best player on the planet. Right-hand hitter, the first pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, 0-1. He challenged him at 95. Judge batting .364. That leads the majors. 31 homers, 2 behind Cal Raleigh in the American League. The 0-1 taken down and in, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Judge 1 RBI behind Raleigh for the runs batted in lead. Judge with 70. The 1-1 swing and a miss at a cutter away, and it's 1-2. Judge, who's hit in 3 straight, has hit 3 home runs in his last 5 games. He's always hit well against the Mets, as though the Mets should be any exception. I think Aaron Judge has blossomed into anything beyond what the Yankees in their wildest imagination might have thought they had. They knew they had a good one, but now it's ridiculous. The 1-2 taken high and tight, a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. His last 24 plate appearances, he's been aboard in 18 of them. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a high fly ball. Deep left center. This is in orbit. Home run. Aaron Judge over the Great Wall of Flushing. Beyond the 370 mark. Justin Hageman, in his first major league start, has allowed back-to-back home runs for the first 2 hitters he faces. First Dominguez, and now Judge with his 32nd home run of the year. And the Yankees, who don't look a bit tired, have a 2-0 lead here in the first inning.
Well, he's been doing it against everybody, and it's all about just establishing yourself, getting yourself a good start. A 1-2-3 inning, get into the dugout. Not so much for the way this thing has begun.
Well, now Cody Bellinger, who has been a hot hitter, and was he ever hot against the Mets in May at Yankee Stadium, takes the first pitch at the knees, a changeup on the outside corner, and it's 0-1, and probably a generous call there from the home plate Mike Estabrook. And the 0-1 is taken inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bellinger, 7 for 11, 2 homers against the Mets in the Bronx. The 1-1 over at the knees, a changeup, and it's 1-2. Bellinger batting .269, 12 homers, 44 runs batted in. 1-2 on the way, reach for, popped in the air to shallow left, angling in his Nimmo, and he makes the one-hand catch for the first out. So we'll look at the Mets' defensive alignment, brought to you by Orland & Cohen Orthopedic Group. Experiencing orthopedic pain, we've got specialists for that. Alonso at first, McNeil at second, Lindor at short, Beatty at third, Nimmo, Taylor, Soto, left to right in the outfield, and Luis Torrens catching Hageman. And now Giancarlo Stanton. First pitch, fastball high, ball 1. Stanton who missed the first 70 games of the year because of injuries to both elbows. Waits on a 1-0, and it's swung on and missed. A fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike. He has hit 38 home runs against the Mets, 24 of them here at Citi Field. The 1-1 on the way, swing and a miss. He bit it, a cutter down and away, and it's 1-2. But those 24 home runs represent the most by any visitor against the Mets in this ballpark. 1-2 pitch, taken low and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stanton now 35 years of age, 430 career home runs, and prodigious power. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a drive in the air to left. It was off the end of the bat as he got in front of it. Nimmo charges in and makes the catch, and there are 2 men away.
Well, Hageman, when he was down at AAA, which is where the Mets had him, of course, in waiting for most of this year, AAA numbers are one thing, but one thing that did stand out, he gave up 11 home runs in 12 games down there. And, of course, it's different up here, but Dominguez and Judge greeting him with some of the same issues that he had at AAA with the Mets.
And now Jazz Chisholm playing third base these days for the Yankees. There's still talk he might wind up back at second. Batting left-handed, he fouls the first pitch straight back, 0-1, and that's what he is, purely a left-handed hitter. Hitting .239. He's got power, 14 home runs, 37 RBIs. Former Marlin, they had him playing center field for a spell. The 0-1 upstairs with a fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Umpire's lineup brought to you by RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together. Visit rwjbh.org. 1-1 pitch. Taken outside, a changeup, 2-1. Mike Estabrook has the plate. Crew chief Laz Diaz is at first. John Bacon at second. And Brian O'Nora, the umpire, at third. 2-1 to Chisholm. The pitch. Check swing. They look to third. He did not go. An appeal to Brian O'Nora. And it is 3-1 to Chisholm with Paul Goldschmidt on deck.
Well, even the umpires have the blue hats on, too. Everybody on the field, put them on so we can sell them.
You got it. That's what it's about. Nothing else. There's no clamoring for different hats. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a cutter. Acting like a slider as that kind of bore down near the back foot of Chisholm. And the count full. This will be Hageman's 26th pitch in the first inning. It's coming. And it's hit on the ground wide of first. To his right, Alonso backhands, fires to first, and Hageman gets there to make the catch, hit the bag, and that retires the side. So Hageman does bounce back to get the last 3 hitters.
Queens! Hey, Mitch! Queens! Hey, Mitch! Bronx. What are they arguing about?
Which borough has the better team?
Queens! Hey,
Bronx.
guys, be careful. Nobody has fixed that sidewalk in years.
Rothenberg Law Firm. InjuryLawyer.com.
Now what are they arguing about?
Which personal injury lawyer to call? Rothenberg Law Firm.
Should we tell them that the Rothenberg Law Firm is InjuryLawyer.com?
Nah, I find this amusing. They'll figure it out.
Be a lawyer for injured ones. InjuryLawyer.com.
Well, we go to the last of the first inning. The first two Yankee hitters homered against Justin Hagenman, Jason Dominguez, and Aaron Judge. So it's 2-0 Yankees. And now the Mets will see the former Met, Marcus Stroman, who is back from a knee injury. Stroman making his second start since his return. His last one was against the A's on Sunday, facing Brandon Nimmo. And the first pitch lined to right field, hugging the line, foul ball. Nimmo making a bid for an extra base hit, but it's 0-1. Stroman allowed just a solo home run, one of 3 hits over 5 innings in that 12-5 win in his first start since the middle of April. And he was really getting hit around before he got hurt, allowing 12 runs over his last 9 1/3 before he went down. Nimmo was homered in his last 2 games, though, batting .254, 17 homers now. 48 runs batted in. And Stroman's 0-1. Fastball lined the other way to left. Dominguez back, can't get it. Sails over his glove and goes to the wall. Picked up by Dominguez on the warning track. Nimmo to second with a bit of a gift. A leadoff double here in the bottom of the first inning.
Well, this is what Jason Dominguez does, right? He's got that power the other way that Yankee fans go, wow, this is the guy. But then he does that a lot, which is play a poor left field. A ball right at him that he makes a step in. This ball beats him over his head by a good chunk. And so a gift for the Mets, who are now invited to get right back into this game in the first inning.
Yeah, that's a gift they really needed to at least begin to find their equilibrium. Francisco Lindor comes to the plate, batting .261 with 17 homers and 46 runs batted in. And immediately a timeout taken. And now Lindor talking about it with home plate ump Mike Estabrook. They're on the same page, and Stroman ready to go to work. Lindor batting left-handed. Nimmo at second, nobody out. Stroman's first pitch. Breaking ball, swung on and missed, swung right over top of the slurve, and the count 0-1. Stroman is 88 and 86 in his career, which began with the Toronto Blue Jays, and he is a great defender. Kind of hard to believe he's only won 1 Gold Glove. The 0-1 on the way. Hit hard on the ground to first. It'll at least move the runner over. Goldschmidt up with the ball, steps on first. That takes care of Lindor. Nimmo goes to third. So 1 man away, and here comes Juan Soto. Doesn't matter who they're rooting for. They've all got something to say about Soto.
A lot of people on their feet, clapping their hands. I see a couple of Yankee fans with the thumbs down look. They're voting down this decision, but now he's here. He's in a Met uniform for the next 15 years.
He was booed loudly all 3 games at Yankee Stadium a couple of months ago. The Yankees have the infield back here. They'll concede a run. Stroman, I think, having trouble dealing with a pitch count. Calls timeout. He was holding his glove to his ear, so he takes his cap off, and he's going to go work on the apparatus and get his catcher, Escara, out there with him to see if they need any new equipment. Home plate ump Mike Estabrook making sure that everything's on the up and up there. Of course, I've never worn pitch comp, so I don't know exactly how loud they, meaning the pitchers, can hear what's being transmitted. But clearly when you've got a crowd that's going to make a lot of noise, that might compromise it to some extent. And it appeared that's what was up with Stroman, because maybe they just turned the volume up. They didn't exchange the equipment. Don't need to turn the volume up on the crowd. It's all the way there. First pitch to Soto. Change up in for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Soto batting .260, 20 home runs, and 48 runs batted in. Nimmo leading from third. The 0-1 pitch. Check swing, breaking ball in the dirty, went around on appeal to third. Brian O'Nora charges strike 2, and it certainly did appear that Soto went around. 20 home runs, tied for 7th with Corbin Carroll in the National League. 2-0 Yankees. Nimmo at first, 1 out on the first. The 0-2, and Soto takes low. The split from Stroman. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, first series did not go according to plan for Soto, just 1 for 10 at Yankee Stadium. But here, like last night, chance to get out of the struggles with hitting with men in scoring position.
Outfield deep and straightaway. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, left center and deep. Bellinger back onto the track. It is gone. Juan Soto with a 2-run homer into the Fiesta deck to the right of the 370 mark. The ball's flying here at Citi Field this afternoon. The Mets have come right back on a 2-run first-inning homer by Juan Soto. It's the Mets 2 and the Yankees 2.
That's what you want. Game-changing power from Juan Soto now with the New York Mets doing it against the Yankees. And this is the weekend the Mets need to have. They don't have much pitching. They don't have much star power there, but the star power is in the lineup. They have to answer the call, and Soto does it in the first inning.
So, just like that, it is 2-2. And here's Pete Alonso. Right hand batter. First pitch to Pete. Taken on the outside corner for a called strike. And it's 0-1. You know, Pete's hit just one homer with 4 RBIs over his last 20 games. He hasn't homered here since June 1st. The 0-1. Missed outside. 1-1 to Alonso. So the Mets' first runs of the game. Sponsored by Sloman's. Call or visit slomans.com. Schedule a free estimate on a new central AC system. The 1-1. Breaking ball clips the outside edge. The slur from Stroman. And it's 1-2. Sloman's, the difference is human. So 2-2 here in the first. And time called by Alonso at home plate with Jeff McNeil on deck as we come to you live from the Bob Murphy broadcast booth. Proudly presented by Bigelow Tea. Grab and mug and tea proudly. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, did he go? They'll check it first. No, says Laz Diaz. And it's 2-2. Jeff McNeil waiting on deck. Stroman from the first base side of the rubber. Deals 2-2. Swinging a pop-up, shallow right, going out the second baseman LeMahieu. Glasses on, squeezes it with both hands for the out. So 2 away, and before McNeil will pause for station identification.
This is Odyssey Mets Radio on WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Howie Rose, Keith Radd, back with you at Citi Field. Yankees 2, Mets 2. There have been 3 home runs already here at Citi Field, among the first 9 hitters to come to the plate. Here's McNeil. First pitch by Stroman. Inside off the glove of the catcher Escara. The ball goes to the backstop. It's 1-0. Jeff batting at .257 with 8 homers and 26 RBIs. We've got an open question here. Here's the 1-0 to McNeil. Takes a breaking ball for a called strike, 1-1. I'm directing this to longtime baseball statistician Bob Waterman, who's here and may well be listening. It's just a question about what may be a little history here. The 1-1 taken down, and in it hit him. It just did nick him. I guess did that get him on the back knee?
I think so, right across the lower part of the quad there above the kneecap as McNeil was turning his feet in. Yankees are on the phone, and they will not challenge, so it did hit McNeil in the leg.
Well, he reacted right away, and so the Mets, who have been hit by more pitches than any team in baseball, get a 2-out base runner for Torrens. But I just wonder, have there ever been back-to-back home runs to begin a game in the Subway Series between the Mets and the Yankees? Just a question for Bob Waterman, because he's got nothing else to do, right? Maybe someone can help us with that, because we don't have that off the top of our heads.
Now, putting him to work early here, I like it.
Why not? It's an afternoon game. He's got plenty of time to try to find the answer.
Oh, they may have to do some holiday pay here, but I think he'll get the job done for us.
Fine with me. I ain't paying him. So here's Torrens, right-hand batter. Takes a called strike. A sinker on the outside corner, 0-1. Luis batting .220 with 2 homers and 14 RBIs. But he made the great throw last night to get Christian Yelich. Upon further review, that was in the 9th inning. Caught stealing. The 0-1. Breaking ball lined over second. Base hit going into center field. McNeil to second, stops there. And Torrens has the Mets' 3rd hit here in the opening inning. Runners at first and second. 2 men out, and Brett Beatty coming up. And hey, no matter which side of the bridge you're on, you can make a difference and up to $2,400 a month as a sperm donor with California Cryobank. Go to spermbank.com to learn more. And what I would have given to hear Bob Murphy read that one.
I'm sure there's some AI we can doctor up with his voice or something if you really want to hear what it might have sounded like. But The real Bob Murphy might have said something like, well, somebody else can do that read.
Well, he might have, and I might have too if I knew that's the one that was in front of me. I just read them as I see them. Here's Brett Beatty, first pitch, taken on the inside corner, a called strike. 0-1 as we move along now. Brett trying to break an 0 for 13 drought here. He's got McNeil at second, Torrens at first. 2 men away. The 0-1. Hit on the ground slowly to second. To his right, LeMahieu's got it. Throws to first in time. Side retired. So the Mets have an early answer as they come right back 2 runs.
I can't imagine transitioning from loving baseball cards to then knowing it's inevitably coming that you're going to be on baseball cards. What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, I think the first card I saw was when they did something for USA Baseball, and then now seeing my face, seeing me playing baseball on a card, it was surreal. It wasn't that it was that moment where like, wow, this is really something.
The world's best built boilers.
We go to the second inning in what's been an action-packed early start to this one between the Yankees and the Mets. 2-2, we go to the second. Paul Goldschmidt leads off, hits the first pitch high in the air to left center. Moving in to get it, Tyrone Taylor with Nimmo, but it's Taylor's ball, and Tyrone, the center fielder, makes the one-hand catch for the first out. And that'll bring up J.C. Escara in the second inning, powered by Invesco QQQ, the official ETF of the New York Mets. Tomorrow's innovation awaits with Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Escara, kind of a cool story. A 30-year-old who had bounced around, was actually out of organized ball for a while. Left-hand hitter, takes a called strike, 0-1. Played Mexico a couple of years ago. Had some odd jobs, including driving an Uber to make ends meet. Here he is in the big leagues. The 0-1 on the way. That's lined towards right center. Hustling over Taylor. He's there to make the catch. So quickly 2 men away. And now Hagenman, maybe had a little nervous stomach at the beginning, but he settled in to get the next 5 in a row after allowing back-to-back homers to Dominguez and Judge to start. So 2 out, nobody on in the second. And the shortstop from New Jersey, Anthony Volpe, coming up. Just 4 for his last 27, hitting .224. He's got 9 homers. And the first pitch to him, taken for a called strike, 0-1. Also driven in 46 runs to go with those 9 home runs. Not bad output at all from a number 8 hitter in that department. The 0-1 check swing roller fouled up the first base line. It's 0-2. Some scores from Nissan. They're here to help you save this summer with lower MSRPs on Rogue and Pathfinder. The possibilities are endless. Visit your local dealer today. Red Sox in the 11 a.m. start this morning clobbered the Nationals 11-2. 0-2 to Volpe. Breaking ball outside. Ball 1. The Reds lead the Phillies 9-6. Bottom 7 in Philadelphia. Jesus Luzardo roughed up by the Reds. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him with a breaking ball, side retired. 1-2-3 inning for Hageman. Middle of the second. Yankees 2, Mets 2.
Oppo taco.
I'm going to guess it's an opposite field, upper deck, maybe something like a...
Yeah, home run to the opposite field. You got it.
This is a good one, a hack.
I don't know. I mean, is it the same as like the layman's term hack, like a bad chef?
You've guessed correctly.
Okay.
Someone's a hack, someone that's just nailing it in.
Yeah.
They're not putting their heart into it.
Out of the second, Ronnie Mauricio facing the ex-Met Marcus Stroman in the first pitch. Breaking ball over, a curve for a called strike, 0-1. Mauricio batting .217, 3 homers, 5 runs batted in. He's the designated hitter today. The 0-1 on the way, breaking ball over the knees for a called strike. It's 0-2. Let's have Jesse Winker on the way back. He'll DH tomorrow and Sunday, and we'll see about when he's ready to rejoin the ball club. 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him with a split, so on 3 pitches. Ronnie Mauricio down on strikes. First strikeout for Stroman. Tyrone Taylor coming up, and that's shortly after Justin Hageman delivered his first Mets strikeout of the game. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors. Don't settle for a good agent. Go for a great one, why don't you? At Weichert.com. So here's Taylor, right-hand hitter. First pitch taken low and away for ball 1. He's been cold at the plate lately, but the sight of the Yankees might change all that. He has hit the Yankees very well in his career. The 1-0 on the way. Sinker missed down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Taylor's gone 14 for 36. That's a .389 career average against the Yankees, with 4 homers and 9 RBIs and 36 at-bats. Righteous production from the center fielder. Outfield, straight away, 2-0 pitch. Low and away, ball 3, with Brandon Nimmo waiting on deck. Now Stroman back 3-0. And hits the inside edge with a fastball. 3-1 to Taylor. Tyrone went 0 for 3 in last night's game. Chisholm is deep at third. Couple strides off the line. And there's some chirping going on in the Mets dugout directed towards Mike Estabrook.
It's Carlos Mendoza. I was wondering, I could hear it outside of my headphones, actually. That's how loud he was. I thought it might have been coming from the Yankee dugout with a couple of calls against Stroman. Estabrook's called a lot of low strikes on both sides.
Here's the 3-1 to Taylor. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. Full count. Mentioned at least one pitch in the first inning. I forget, frankly, if it was from Hageman or Stroman, but we saw one pitch where clearly the ball was out of the strike zone, and not by a little bit either. So now it'll be a payoff pitch to Taylor, and it's hit on the ground to the shortstop hole to his right. Volpe backhands, throws on the run, and gets the speedy Taylor by about a half a step. Nicely done by Anthony Volpe. So 2 men away. Brandon Nimmo coming up. And this second inning is powered by Invesco QQQ, the official ETF of the New York Mets. Tomorrow's innovation awaits with Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors Incorporated. All right, here's Nimmo. Got the Mets started in the first inning with a double. First pitch on the way, taken down and in, ball one. Now that was after he missed ripping one into the right field corner. It was just foul, and then he hit a line drive to left that looked as though it would be caught by Dominguez, but the ball sailed over the glove of Dominguez and went to the wall. Nimmo got a double out of it, and 2 batters later, Soto homered to tie it. The 1-0 chopped to second. Waiting on it, LeMahieu gets a waist-high hop and throws to first in time. Side retired. So both starting pitchers settle down and have 1, 2, 3 second innings. So
Boomer is the dog. Then he looked good. I just followed his picture all the way. And there he is. Boomer's dad.
That was kind of a change from the everyday thing that we normally do as far as baseball cards are concerned.
Hey, I have a Labrador. Where's my card?
You know, a little bit different, and it turned out to be a fun experience.
It was just when the camera crew tried to leave that there was a problem. You can't leave.
Is yes, or the answer is yes.
lively start to this one. 3 home runs hit in the first inning alone. It's the Mets 2 and the Yankees 2 as we begin the third, Keith.
DJ LeMahieu, last guy that hasn't hit yet, leads off for the Yankees. First pitch from Hagenman. Misses inside with a sinker. That's 1 ball and no strikes. So LeMahieu then the top with the guys that did homer. Jason Dominguez and Aaron Judge went back-to-back start the game. 1-0. Clips the top of the zone, a breaking ball. That's 1 ball and 1 strike on LeMahieu. Batting .254. There's a pair of home runs and 12 RBIs. One of the home runs came against the Mets in May. 1-1. That misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now, LeMahieu will turn 37 years old in a couple of days, July 13th, in his 15th year. 2-1. Check swing. He went around on a cutter down and away, and it's 2-2. Now, there have been calls for LeMahieu and his spot in the lineup, his spot in the infield, and a terrific Gold Glover, batting title a couple times, All-Star, postseason hero at time for the Yankees. It seems to be slowing down due to some injuries late in his career. 2-2. Strike 3 called, that cutter down and away. And now LeMahieu has some words for Estabrook. Again, that low strike to the righties especially has peeved both sides. And so Hagenman gets the call here. LeMahieu shaking his head, and there's one away for Jason Dominguez.
I think the Yankees are going to have an especially short fuse today because they didn't get much sleep last night, and that's understandable.
There's Dominguez batting left. Tie game in the third inning. First pitch, dots the outside corner, a cutter strike, and it's 0-1. Yankees and Blue Jays played at 7 o'clock last night. Played a long game, and they got home really late, or really early. Next pitch, high and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. About 3:30, 4 o'clock, some of the Yankees people told us, before they got nestled in their beds. 1-1. Fouled back to the screen, and it's 1-2. I was joking with Susan Waldman. And Susan, you just go to Jackson Hole, you grab yourself an omelet, and you come right to the park. What's the point of going home and trying to get some sleep?
Jackson Hole. Wah, wah, wah.
Here's the 1-2. Dominguez fouls it away. It stays a ball in 2 strikes.
Had lunch there with some friends, let's say about 2 months ago. Man, that was good.
Big burger? Did you go for the burger?
No, I didn't go for the burger. Whatever I went for, though, always darn good. I think it was some kind of wrap with a whole lot of stuff in it.
Classic spot. 1-2. Just missed outside a changeup, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The burgers at Jackson Hole come with their own zip code.
I know. It's something. Dominguez then Judge. The pitch. Lifted in the air, foul, pulled down the right field side and at a play. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Dominguez. So the Yankees coming in, limping in a sense. Mets feel the same way. So different than when both teams met in May, right? First place in the NL East, the AL East. Kind of the top of the cream of the crop in each division. 2-2. Ground ball back to the mound, over the mound towards second. Grabbed by Lindor. Throws on the run to first, getting Dominguez for the second out. Little chopper that bounced in the grass right in front of Hageman, then went up and over him, and he reached up to try to get it, but it went by him, and Lindor was there to save him. So 2 up and 2 down, but really more than that. It has been 8 up and 8 down since the Judge home run. But here is Judge for the second time. A colossal human being, batting right-handed. First pitch. Missed outside a cutter for ball 1. We're coming to you live from the Bob Murphy broadcast booth, proudly presented by Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly. Mets 2, Yankees 2, the 1-0. Just missed outside a cutter, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Now, Dominguez went deep. That one just got over the wall. Judge didn't miss it at all by a 428-foot homer. 2-0, hits the outside corner, a cutter strike, and it's 2-1. So Judge right now, 32 home runs, 1 shy of Cal Raleigh for the Major League lead. Judge calls for his time. Now, usually you read numbers like 14 out of 16, things like that, hits in last games, but Judge with the home run has been on base in 14 of his last 16 times up plate appearances. 2-1. Chop foul at home plate, a slider in, and it's 2-2. Has been the leading man in the OPS category since the start of the year with a 12.08 mark right now. Actually, Soto since the start of June has been better than Judge, but Judge has been out of the gate the best hitter in the game. 2 outs, 2 strike pitch. Strike 3 called, got him looking, that outside corner, friendly to Hageman, who gets Judge looking, and Judge with some words, he's not alone, and that Mike Estabrook strike zone. Another 1-2.
I'm going to throw out a restaurant kitchen term to you, and then hit me with the baseball one. I'll start first.
Okay.
Mise en place.
Oh, mise en place. That is, as the chef, you put all your different ingredients out kind of before you start cooking, right?
You got it, man. Yeah. That's the most important
That's a tough one. I hear this one a lot because of my name, can of corn.
Easy fly ball.
start the bottom of the third inning. First pitch to Lindor. Stroman dots the outside corner with a cutter. 0-1. It is Lindor, Soto, and Alonso. The meat of the order presented by the Chef IQ Sense, a cooking thermometer that pairs with your phone and ensures you never over or undercook your chicken, fish, or meat again. Buy one at chefiq.com. 0-1. Swinging a chopper foul, pulled up the first base line, right along the chalk, but outside the line, and it's 0-2 on Lindor. So Yankees kicked the door down with a couple of home runs to start it off. Dominguez and Judge went back-to-back. And then in the bottom of the first inning, the Mets answered with a 2-run home run by Juan Soto, who is on deck. Lindor, though, grounded out to first. Here's the 0-2. Bounces up there, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Francisco's had some really good games as a Met against the Yankees. There was, of course, that one of the first Subway Series matchups to remember for him. Hit 3 home runs in a game against the Yankees in 2021. 1-2. Rip foul down the first base line, and it stays a ball and 2 strikes. That 2021 season was the last season for Marcus Stroman as a Met. He has since bounced around. Was with the Cubs for a couple of years. Second year with the Yankees. The righty's 1-2. Fouled back to the screen, a splitter. That stays a ball and 2 strikes on Lindor. And the last time the Mets saw Stroman, he was wearing Cubs uniform at Wrigley, and he was terrific. 8 innings against the Mets. That was 2 years ago, 23 team. There's the 1-2 to Francisco. Swing and a miss. There goes the bat flying into the dugout down the first baseline. And I think that's strike 3, right? Or did he foul it off? Because the ball is not held, so it's a foul ball. And Lindor will have to get, first of all, a new bat, or the bat, and new life here. I guess he made contact with that. Escar didn't catch it. And Mike Estabrook said he fouled it off. I'm trying to get a look at it. It didn't look clear that he fouled it off.
It ended up going through Escar. His legs were also focused on the bat. Lindor never made a move towards first base, thinking that he had missed it. So he's pretty well sure that he tipped it. We're watching the replay now, and I can't tell from... They just enhanced that replay. I still can't tell.
So 1-2. Stroman's pitch to Lindor. Fouled back, and so the dance continues. And it didn't seem clear that he hit it. So you're talking about what would have been strike 3. Now the ball did hit off the catcher, rolled a little away from him. So Escar could have thrown down to first, but nobody budged. Another 1-2. Up, and then he leans out of the way, turns his chin toward the umpire, and kind of does the matrix bend back out of there. 2-2 on Lindor. Next pitch will be number 9 of the plate appearance. Mets 2, Yankees 2. A long first at bat to start this bottom of the third inning. Infield back around to the right, playing him to pull. Outfield is deep, but straight away. Stroman, slow wind up, 2-2. Chop up the first baseline, a fair ball. Grabbed by Goldschmidt behind the bag. Flips to Stroman covering for the out, and there's one away.
I'll tell you what, the minute that Lindor made contact, Stroman started moving towards first base. And that's what makes him special as far as being a defender is concerned on the mound. We just got a treat. Terry Collins is here. TC just popped into the booth.
Look at that. He's got that Florida tan and everything.
I'm doing all right.
Here's Soto. First pitch from Stroman is outside with ball 1.
I think we're going to get a headset or something we could slap on Terry for a minute here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Star of his podcast, you know.
That's right.
Sweeping the nation.
There's the 1-0 to Soto in this tie game. Pitch dots the inside corner, a slurve, and it's 1-1 on Juan, who did tie the game with a 2-run home run the other way. And that Soto power alley the other way in left center field in the bottom of the first inning. Stroman winds and deals. The 1-1 is ripped to right center field. That's a base hit for Soto, going all the way to the wall in right center. Soto jogging around first, now sprints towards second, slides in feet first with a double as that throw came chasing after him from Cody Bellinger on the track in right center. So Soto 1 for 10 at Yankee Stadium is now 2 for 2, 2 extra base hits in this one.
TC, how'd you like to have managed him?
I would like to have managed him, I can tell you. He's some kind of a star player. You know, when it's all said and done, his numbers are going to be what we always expect.
Now here's Pete Alonso. Terry Collins in the booth with us. Bottom of the third inning, tied at 2. Chance to drive in Soto with Alonso. at the plate. Stroman set and steps off.
Tell the truth. Did you come right off the golf course?
No,
come on.
I should have. How it's raining a little too hard down in Florida right now.
You just got off a plane then?
Yeah,
huh?
I did. Yes.
Stroman twiddling the ball behind his back. Comes set. 1 out, runner at second base. And the pitch. Popped up foul off to the right and out of play. 0-1. So the tan looks pretty good, TC. Looking good.
Yeah, well, we do have some sunshine once in a while down in Florida. Where, the afternoon it kind of goes away, but I get my share of it.
How long are you in town for?
Today.
Okay.
Yeah,
look at
just
that.
came up to
look at that.
Came just to see us. That's great.
0-1 to Alonso. Hit hard in the shortstop hole, off the glove of Volpe, going into left. They're going to wave around Soto. Here he comes. Dominguez sort of the plate on the way. The slide. Save. No tag. Soto in feet first. And the Mets in the bottom of the third have taken a 3-2 lead on a sharp shot from Alonso's bat. Off Volpe into left, bringing in Soto.
Mike Scoreboard did not hesitate at all in sending Soto to the plate.
The ball was hit, too.
Alonso walloped that ball. It's definitely a tough play. He hit it 108 off the bat. And the Mets, who were down 2-0, 2 batters in, have taken a 3-2 lead. Here's Jeff McNeil. 1 out in the inning. Pitch. Swing and a miss and a slurve, and it's 0-1. Now for Alonso, they have given him an RBI single, even though Volpe was there, turned the glove over, but that thing bounced off of his arm and went into left. Sharply hit. Here's the 0-1. McNeil tops one toward first, grabbed by Goldschmidt, but it is a foul ball. I think it got Jeff's foot. And so it is 0-2.
Terry, did you enjoy managing these games, or were they a bit of a pain in the neck because of all of the extracurricular attendees and all the other stuff that goes along with it?
Howie, before the game started, obviously there's a lot to do. The fields are always crowded with people, but this is what the big leagues is about. It's about these tremendous rivalries, and this was always a fun series. The Subway Series was always exciting.
Runner at first base, 1 out, 0-2 on McNeil, 3-2 Mets. Stroman deals, and the pitch is grounded toward first, grabbed by Goldschmidt, steps on first, no play at second, and so Alonso goes sliding in there. So McNeil is out, runner at second, 2 outs now for Luis Torrens.
Starting to fill the lineup card out for the alumni game in September.
Yeah, I've already got my lineup, I think. We got some pretty good players. I'm going to have to call Bobby and tell him, my guys are a little younger than his, I can tell you.
It's funny seeing Noah Syndergaard on the alumni, old-timers. Yeah, the guy just got signed by the White Sox. Did you see that?
I did.
Here's Torrens, 3-2 Mets in the third. Stroman ready to deal. Here it comes. Yeah, misses low and in with ball one.
I talked to Yoenis Cespedes because he was a guy that they talked about wanting to come up here, and Yoenis says, I might make a comeback. I'm not ready to play in any old-timers game.
Well, you never know with him because he can be serious. There's the 1-0 to Torrens. Strike outside corner. It's 1-1. What is Yoenis up to?
David's never going to play in it because he still thinks he can play, and he probably can. So
I'll have to find him, though, first.
Infield playing Torrens straight away and deep. Stroman from the first base side comes home with a 1-1. The pitch is chopped foul, and it's 1-2. What is Yoenis Cespedes up to these days?
Well,
riding horses?
He's riding horses. He's got his ranch for sale. Okay. So if you got a spare few million laying around, you could get it.
My wallet's around here somewhere, Howie, but if you don't mind chipping in, maybe.
You got to pay extra for the wild boar, though.
Terry Collins in the booth here, surprising us. Subway Series, bottom 3, runner at second, 2 outs. 1-2 on Torrens. Stroman holds and deals. A pitch hit toward the middle. Volpe to his left, has it. Sets, fires, got him in time. Side retired, but Soto doubles. Alonso brings him in. The Mets now lead the Yankees 3-2 after 3. Terry, so good to see you.
Well, it's great to see you guys. You guys are doing a tremendous job, which we all expect. And, I know a lot of fans who, turn you guys on, and they get excited every time the Mets game comes. I go to the golf course, and there are guys who got radios, they're listening to you guys on, and somebody else has got the TV going. So lots of New York Mets fans in Florida.
Trying to bring the good news, TC. Good to see you. Mets and the Yankees on Odyssey Mets Radio, powered by the all-new Nissan Murano.
Let's go Mets!
In today's evolving market, shaped by private equity and mega mergers, choosing the right accounting firm is more crucial than ever. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we take the time to understand your unique circumstances to develop innovative tax and accounting solutions tailored to meet your goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner eager for a winning game plan, let Anshin deliver value where others can't. Visit anchin.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors.
OLLOY.edu. We go to the fourth inning at Citi Field. The Mets have a 3-2 lead over the Yankees. I say it like that because the Yankees, the way this thing started, Dominguez, homer, Judge, homer. The Mets kind of went uh-oh for a moment. But credit Justin Hageman, who from that last home run that sailed out of here has retired 9 in a row. So it's Bellinger, Stanton, and Chisholm, 3, 4, and 5 for the Yankees. Hageman at 50 pitches. First one to Bellinger. Misses outside. Sinker. That's 1 ball and no strikes. Bellinger flew out to left his first time. Infield back around to the right. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Big rip at a sinker. And it's 1-1. And Bellinger with a 780 OPS in his first year with the Yankees. A lot of people thought that lefty swing would just be perfect for Yankee Stadium. He's got 12 home runs. Here's the 1-1. Swinging a drive in the air to right field. Soto going back. This one is gone to the Coca-Cola corner. Now the lefty swing works here too. Tie game on the third Yankee home run of the day. Bellinger goes deep to right, second deck. And in the top of the fourth, we're all square at 3 apiece.
You make a mistake down and into Bellinger, he'll play catch with a Coca-Cola corner all weekend.
Now that snaps what was 9 in a row retired by Hageman. And the Yankees, who are again only second in baseball to the Dodgers in home runs, have gotten one from Dominguez, Judge, and now Bellinger. And here's a guy who's hit a couple of them. Giancarlo Stanton. First pitch. Missed outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Top of the fourth, sponsored by Cars for Kids. 877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today. Next pitch misses high. 2 balls and no strikes. Now, in a sense, this is a bit of a strange weekend for the Mets, who are asking others to step up. 2-0 in for a strike, 2-1. This was supposed to be Paul Blackburn's spot. Now, Paul Blackburn also wasn't supposed to be in the starting rotation either. Here's the 2-1. Fouled back to the screen, a sinker, and it's 2-2. And so with Blackburn on the IL, shoulder impingement, it's now up to Hageman here in his first major league start. Kid out of Voorhees, New Jersey. Try to keep the Mets simply in the game. 2-2. Popped up. Foul ground, first base side. Here comes Alonso racing down from first. Makes a basket catch, because why not? Right over the New York Presbyterian logo, halfway up the first baseline. And Stanton pops out for the first out in the fourth.
Willie.
Kind of. Although Pete was running in toward home plate, there was probably a 450-foot difference between where they caught it on the field, but why not? Alonso made the grab, sunglasses on. And here in this tie game is Jazz Chisholm Jr. Pitch. Line the other way, base hit in the shortstop hole for Jazz. Up the alley, picked up by Taylor. He fires in. That holds Chisholm with good speed to a single. So, get this. You're probably not going to be shocked by it, but the Yankees have hit 3 home runs. And outside of that single by Chisholm, they're the only 3 hits. So this is the only non-home run hit for the Yankees. And it puts Chisholm on ahead of Paul Goldschmidt. Tied at 3, top of the fourth. Goldschmidt, the veteran, first year with the Yankees, hitting at .285. A great May, but a terrible June. Pitch. Missed outside. 1 ball and no strikes. It's kind of a revelation for the Yankees this year. The last few years in St. Louis, it looked like Father Time had started to knock at the door for Paul Goldschmidt. Hit May, hit 315, OPS over 900. Came back down to earth, though, in June. Spinning a throw to first, and Chisholm back in safely. June hit just a $143 with a 464 OPS. Completely zapped of that power. But has hit a little bit here as July has just gotten started. Hageman ready. One out, the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Cutter away. That's 1 ball and 1 strike. Cutter comes in for Hageman at 88 miles an hour. That's sponsored by Spectrum. Life moves fast. And so should your connections. Get fast, reliable speeds. The network that moves with you. Spectrum. 1-1. Swing and a miss. It a changeup. And it's 1-2. Mentioned the Mets and their pitching. Tomorrow we know Frankie Montas will start. That's pretty much all we know for the entire weekend. TBA and TBD on Sunday. 1-2. Got him looking outside corner. Changeup. Snap to first. Chisholm back in with a dive. But Goldschmidt is out. And for Hageman, his 4th strikeout. I tell you what, for a young guy making his first major league start, he's taken 3 gut punches here. 3 solo homers. Dominguez, Judge, and Bellinger. But he had not been shy. It's still throwing strikes, which he did to get Goldschmidt looking. So runner at first, 2 outs. Here's J.C. Escara batting left, the catcher. First pitch. Breaking ball, strike. That's 0-1.
You talk about throwing strikes. He's now thrown 9 2/3 innings in the big leagues without walking a batter.
And here today, 42 of the 64 pitches have been filling up that zone. 0-1. Missed low and away a changeup, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And who knows how much the Mets ask him to throw here. He was starting at AAA, but when he's been up here as a reliever for the Mets, 3 1/3, that kind of thing, nothing long. 1-1 misses away, 2 balls and a strike. And so far he is 1 out away from going 4, which would be the longest major league outing that he's ever had. But this is the only major league season he's ever pitched in. 2-1 on Escara. A throw to first. Chisholm back in standing. First disengagement in this plate appearance, with Jazz getting back.
I think the best case scenario, reasonable hope, is that Hageman can get them as many as 5 innings and keep them in the game, and then go from there.
2-1. Missed low and away with a sinker. 3 balls and a strike. So there's the area of the zone that for a righty has been a strike, down and away, but for a lefty, down and away, not a strike. Completely the other side of the plate for the home plate umpire, Mike Estabrook, who has not been friendly to both sides. 3-1. Swinging a foul into the mitt. Big rip, but it's strike 2. So in a tie game, Mets 3, Yankees 3. Yankees have tied it up on a Bellinger homer in the inning. Hageman a strike away from getting through 4. And it may sound like minimal, but this is what the Mets are asking for. Guys to do more than they're used to doing. Chisholm goes, 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Got him with a changeup. Another strikeout for Hageman, who is through 4 for the Mets. But Cody...
Connecticut's largest discount tire dealer, because we give you the guaranteed lowest price and we honor every manufacturer's rebate. We even honor all our competitors' rebates. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody!
Town Fair Tire!
For over 50 years, Parts Authority has been the one-stop shop for everything automotive aftermarket. Check out these parts. Parts Authority Auto Parts Superstores, where the answer is yes.
The Subway Series is proudly presented by JAG Physical Therapy. Visit jagpt.com today.
The bottom of the 4th inning is brought to you by Route 4 Hyundai in Paramus, New Jersey. Call it a Seesaw Subway Series affair. Yankees were up, Mets were up, and now we're all tied at 3 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Marcus Stroman out there with 52 pitches over his first 3 faces the bottom three in the Met order, starting with Brett Beatty. First pitch to the lefty. Beatty chops it foul. The count 0-1. So Mets have hit Stroman 3 runs on 5 hits. Has struck out 1. Hasn't allowed a walk, but did hit Jeff McNeil. His pitch count, talk about a guy throwing strikes. Stroman has always been pretty good at throwing strikes. So in 53 pitches, 40 of them have been in the zone, just 13 balls. Meanwhile, J.C. Escarra, the catcher, is having some pitch count problems. Mike Estabrook, hands on his hips, looking down at the catcher. Escarra gives him the thumbs up, and here we go to continue. Beatty, Mauricio, Taylor here in the 4th. Stroman's 0-1. Back to a breaking ball, in for a strike, evens the count, and it's 0-2. So Subway Series today, tomorrow afternoon, and then Sunday afternoon. Tomorrow is 4:10, and Sunday, I want to get it right, is at 1:40. There's the 0-2. It's low and in, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And all weekend, you go to Mets.com/5050. The 50-50 raffle put on by the Amazing Mets Foundation is going to run across all 3 Subway Series games. The winner will be announced on Sunday during the after the 6th inning. Here's the 1-2 to Beatty. Line the other way, base hit. Inside third and into left field. So Beatty goes the other way, swatting one past Jazz Chisholm, who's playing way off the line. So a leadoff hit for Beatty. That'll bring up Ronnie Mauricio in this tie game.
And Brett needed that. That ends an 0-for-13 drought, plus gives the Mets the leadoff base runner.
Now that Amazing Mets Foundation 50-50 raffle, giving fans a unique opportunity to support the Foundation's vital work while also winning some cash prizes. Guaranteed minimum jackpot of $25,000. Here's Mauricio. Pitch. Ripped to the right side, gloved at first by Goldschmidt, throws to second, but now Beatty races back to first. The throw back there, and he's out at first base. But he wasn't tagged.
Well, Goldschmidt just threw to second for a force play on Beatty. It's as simple as that. I don't know why Beatty was running back unless he...
that messed with my brain for so much.
I mean, Goldschmidt gets up, throws the ball to second base, unless Beatty thought somehow that Volpe might have been off the bag, but he wasn't, and I don't know what Brett was doing there.
He confused me. I apologize. Here's Tyrone Taylor. Pitch. Bounces up there with ball 1. My brain didn't know how to comprehend. It just goes down as a 3-6-3 double play. But with Beatty running back, I don't know what my brain was thinking was going on. Here's the 1-0 to Taylor.
The only
flick foul to the right, that's 1-1.
I mean, the only thing I could think of was that maybe Beatty thought and didn't see, and then thought Goldschmidt had stepped on the bag,
right,
and then was going to get himself into a rundown because it would have necessitated a tag play to put him out. That's the only thing I could think of.
1-1 to Taylor. Misses low and outside a sinker. It's 2 balls and a strike in this tie game, bottom of the 4th.
But Goldschmidt was far enough off the bag, so that should not have been any consideration. Whatever.
2-1. It's low and away. 3 balls and a strike. Yeah, I'm trying to call it as I see it. 3-6-3. Beatty's running back to first, which doesn't really matter at all. But again, I'm trying to do what I can here. 3-1 is low, ball 4. So the center fielder, Tyrone Taylor, is on with a walk. And Centers Healthcare would like to remind you that they're not just care, they're care that moves you. CentersHealthcare.com.
You know what, Keith? No, this is an opportunity to bring people into the booth, Broadcasting 101. Because when something so unnatural like that happens, we all instinctively, not so much second guess ourselves, but we wonder, what am I missing if he's doing that?
Exactly.
He's the major league player. I played stickball. So he must know something we don't. But in that case, it was just, as Davey Johnson used to call it, vapor lock.
Here's Nimmo, first pitch. Swinging a foul back to the screen, and the count 0-1. We have the distinct pleasure of calling it while also trying to analyze it in real time, while also your brain is sometimes buffering, and you want to hit that refresh button in the midst of all of that in a split second.
I think I need buffering after all that.
We're tied at 3 in the 4th, 2 outs, throw to first, and Taylor dives back in. And Taylor with threat to run, and the Yankees know that. Tyrone has taken 9 out of 10. And Antoine Richardson, who has been excellent base running coach and first base coach is in Taylor's ear. 0-1. Nimmo shoots it foul the other way, and it's 0-2. Now, Brandon Nimmo back in the leadoff spot. It doesn't really matter right now where he is hitting. Yesterday it was 5th. Wednesday in the nightcap it was 1st. He's been kind of a great tone setter for the Met offense. Of course, the Mets get hit with back-to-back home runs allowed in the top of the first. He immediately doubles over Dominguez's head and left in the bottom of the first, and came around on the Soto homer. Stroman throws over again, and Taylor back in with a dive in there pretty easily ahead of the Goldschmidt tag. So that's 2 disengagements, which means if Stroman throws over there again, he has to get an out, or it's a balk. Mets 3, Yankees 3, bottom 4. 0-2 on Nimmo. Stroman deals. Missed low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now again, for Nimmo, with that tone setter feeling, when you're the leadoff hitter, that's your job, is to be the tone setter. That's where Brandon was when he started his major league career with the Mets. But he's been kind of all over the place with his skill set. The power has come, the on-base has come, but usually those levers are up and down. Taylor with a big lead at first. There he goes. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Stroman strikes out Nimmo on a hard splitter. Down and away. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit.
I'm going to throw out a restaurant kitchen term to you, and then hit me with the baseball one. I'll start first.
Okay.
Mise en place.
Oh, mise en place. That is, as the chef, you put all your different ingredients out, kind of before you start cooking, right?
You got it, man. Yeah. That's the most important
That's a tough one. I hear this one a lot because of my name, can of corn.
Easy fly ball.
PeerlessBoilers.com. Go to PeerlessBoilers.com for more information and an installer near you. Remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
Justin Hageman back out for a 5th inning, Howie, as we're tied at 3, Mets and Yanks.
All right, thanks, Keith. He faces Anthony Volpe, right-hand batter, gets the first pitch, cutter over for a called strike, 0-1. So it's 8-9-1 in the Yankee batting order now. Volpe struck out his first time. And Hageman back 0-1. Rides high with a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. 69 pitches through 4. A little bit high. The Mets are starting to get the bullpen up now. 1-1 to Volpe. Breaking ball hit high in the air to straightaway center. It's deep but playable. Taylor is back, waiting, and makes the one-hand catch, 1 man away. And again, I think, and it's Austin Warren, right-hander, getting up in the Mets bullpen. I think the Mets would have signed quickly. They'd have said, give me the pen. If you tell them that Hageman could potentially, and he's not there yet, get through 5 innings and have them in the game. Right now it's 3-3, so there's certainly that. DJ LeMahieu, the number 8 batter next, but he hasn't been hitting, or number 9 batter, but he hasn't been hitting like one lately. Hits one on the ground up the middle. Base hit into center field. So LeMahieu has hit .323 over his last 33 games. Comes up with the 5th Yankee hit of the afternoon. And now Hageman begins his 3rd time through the Yankee order. And I don't know that he'll get many opportunities to face those guys, considering that, well, Dominguez is up next, and obviously the Mets are buying time because they've got Torrens out at the mound now talking to Hageman. And here comes Mendoza. He's not even going to give him that 3rd time. So Carlos is on his way to the mound, and there will be a pitching change here with 1 out, runner at first. Mets 3, Yankees 3 here in the 5th inning. And this pitching change and this slowdown in action is brought to you by Iservay.
Pat McCarthy here, and I'd like to tell you about my alma mater, the College of New Jersey. U.S. News ranks TCNJ the #1 college in the North. Why? TCNJ delivers top-tier academics and a college experience designed to challenge and inspire, all at a public college price point.
I'm going to throw out a restaurant kitchen term to you, and then hit me with the baseball one. I'll start first.
Okay.
Mise en place.
Oh, mise en place. That is, as the chef, you put all your different ingredients out, kind of before you start cooking, right?
You got it, man. Yeah. That's the most important
That's a tough one. I hear this one a lot because of my name, can of corn.
Easy fly ball.
Fifth inning. Out in the fifth inning, Austin Warren, the right-hander, comes out of a somewhat battered and tattered Mets bullpen. Warren was up as the 27th player for the doubleheader on Wednesday against the Brewers, so they sent him back after that. And here he is back now because of, well, a couple of the moves we told you about yesterday. And another one today. That's one that brought Davinsky back to the bullpen because Jose Butto has gone on the IL with an illness, and we are assured that it is nothing particularly serious. It'll just take a little bit of time to get through his system. So Butto, who had been sent home a couple of days ago and was not available Wednesday or Thursday, he's on the IL. Mentioned that Chris Davinsky is up, but right now here is Austin Warren to face Jason Dominguez, who homered leading off the game. Judge on deck. Switch hitter batting left, the righty Warren ready. His first pitch, way upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Warren pitched 2 1/3 scoreless innings against Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, picking up his first win. Went right back down, and here he is again. The 1-0 coming. Breaking ball is low. Missed with a sweeper. It's 2-0. So Hageman goes 4 1/3, gives up 5 hits. To this point, 3 runs, all coming on solo homers. No walks, 5 strikeouts. Responsible for LeMahieu at first. 2-0 to Dominguez. Now the pitch. That's in for a called strike. A fastball on the inner half. And so 2 balls and 1 strike to the Yankees left fielder. This fifth inning sponsored by Elec 825, building our future. Beatty is way off the line at third against the left-hand batter. Outfield straightaway. 2-1 pitch. Taken down and in. Ball 3. Now's the time to get a Peerless Boiler. Don't wait. Go to peerlessboilers.com. We'll give you info and an installer near you. And remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers. 3-1. Lindor shaded towards the bag at second. And the 3-1 pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, slicing deep and towards the corner. Left field, Nimmo overturns, watches, it's gone! An opposite field 2-run homer for Jason Dominguez, his second home run of the game. And the Yankees have taken a 5-3 lead as that ball just kept carrying, and the ball is carried very well to left and left center today. That one just kept carrying on Nimmo, who could only observe as it went over the Great Wall of Flushing to make it 5-3. Yankees. Dominguez now with 8 home runs on the year, 2 of them today. The ball makes its way back onto the field and is sent all the way back towards Warren at the pitcher's mound. So consider that this game started with Justin Hageman facing Dominguez, and Dominguez took him deep. Now Austin Warren's first batter is Dominguez, and he takes him deep. Each team with 6 hits. That's the 4th home run of the game hit by the Yankees with 1 out in the 5th inning. Here's Aaron Judge. First pitch, broken bat looper to shallow right. That's a base hit. The bat head went flying out beyond third base. Judge at first, holding on there with a single, his second hit of the game. So, Yankees with a 5-3 lead now, 1 out. Judge at first, and Cody Bellinger coming up. And Bellinger hit a mistake from Hagenman, down and in, which is right where Bellinger with that uppercut swing likes it. And he launched it into the Coca-Cola corner his last time up. Left-hand batter, Warren's first pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1. So you can close the book on Hagenman. Gives up 4 runs. And, of course, the home run for Dominguez here in the 5th. That run charged to Warren. 1-0 pitch. Bellinger takes downstairs, 2-0. Bellinger's home run extended his hitting streak to 10 straight games. Yankees 5, Mets 3. Yankees fans making some noise. Mets fans drowning them out. 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball over at the knees. A called strike. 2-1. Some other scores from the New York Lottery. Play the new scratch-off games for your chance to win. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-HOPE-NY. Well, the Reds helped the Mets out. They beat the Phillies 9-6. That's a game and a half back starting play today. 2-1 pitch. That's lined to right field. Coming in, though, Soto. And he makes the catch. Fires in towards first. Way, way beyond the reach of Alonso. The ball rolls back towards home plate, where Torrens was backing up, and Judge stays at first, as that's the second out here in the 5th inning, and Giancarlo Stanton coming up. The Cubs, you think the wind's blowing out at Wrigley today? Cubs lead the Cardinals 11-1, bottom of the 7th. The Cubs set a new club record with 8 home runs. Michael Busch, 3 of them. Pete Crow Armstrong, 2. Suzuki, Kelly, Swanson, 6 of them coming off of Miles Mikolas. Wow. Here's Stanton, first pitch. Take it in tight, ball 1.
We know pitchers either love Wrigley or absolutely hate Wrigley, depending on whether the wind is blowing in or out. And I think we have our answer for today. Miles Mikolas probably wants to crawl in a hole after this one.
1-0 to Stanton. Now the pitch. Outside, a fastball, 2-0. Well, the Yankees have hit 4 home runs already today, and SNY statistician Dave Freed passes this note along that Met pitchers had not given up 3 home runs or more in a game over the first 84 games. The 2-0 taken low, 3-0. But in the last 5 games, including today, it's happened 3 times. We've talked about all of those 5-run innings that the Mets have allowed too lately. That hasn't been a factor in this game yet. It's been the home run ball. 5-3 Yankees. Stanton will be swinging here, 3-0 if he likes it. Pitch. He takes it. It's upstairs. A fastball, ball 4.
Now here comes Jeremy Hefner, and this is one of those deals when you're in the midst of a bullpen game, bullpen shakeup, where if every guy is perfect, it's almost a miracle. You know, somebody might be a little bit off, and Warren, who was so good last time out, filling in behind Griffin Canning, has come out here, homer, single, hard line out, and now a walk. And now what do you do if you're the Mets? Do you get somebody up in that bullpen? You just got this guy in here. You're short. There's a lot of things happening on the wrong side right now for Warren and the Mets.
Well, you talk about short. The Mets are short a couple of key relievers, you would think, today, too. So Jeremy Hefner on his way back to the dugout after the slowdown in action, brought to you by Iservay. But you got to figure that Edwin Diaz is most likely unavailable after having pitched in both of the last 2 games. Ryan Stanek has also worked in 2 straight, so you would think he is unavailable. But here's Jazz Chisholm, first and second, 2 out, 5-3 Yanks, top 5. First pitch, breaking ball over, a sweeper for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Chisholm grounded to first and singled to center. Yankees about hit the Mets 7-6, 4 of those 7 hits home runs. 0-1 to Chisholm, and he's got power. The pitch, fastball over a called strike. And it's 0-2 with Paul Goldschmidt waiting on deck. Yankees now have moved to within 3 home runs of the Dodgers for the Major League lead. Yankees with 135 lead the American League. 0-2, the pitch to Chisholm. Down and in near his feet with a sweeper. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hope to see you here in 2 weeks. Saturday the 19th. David Wright's number 5 will be retired, and he'll also be inducted into the Mets Hall of Fame. Big pregame ceremony presented by New York Presbyterian. Don't miss this special day at Citi Field. Get your tickets now at Mets.com/tickets. 1-2 to Chisholm. Here's pitch. Swing and a foul. Back to the screen. Big cut there by Chisholm against Austin Warren. Warren has pitched in parts of 5 Major League seasons. He's actually undefeated. He's 7-0. 40 combined appearances with the Angels, Giants, and Mets. But he allowed a homer to the first batter he faced today, Dominguez. 1-2 pitch. In tight with a cutter. 2-2 on Chisholm. Ball is really carried to left and left center in this game. Bellinger's home run into the Coca-Cola corner, the upper deck and right, didn't need any help. 2-2. Now the pitch. Breaking ball, foul, straight back to the backstop. Yankees bullpen is quiet. Mets will be on their 3rd time through the order when they bat in the bottom of this inning, beginning with Lindor. Lindor, Soto, and Alonso, 2, 3, and 4 will be due up for the Mets. So Warren desperately trying to keep it where it is at just 5-3. First and second, 2 out. 2-2 pitch. Chisholm takes a call, strike 3. A sinker over the inside corner, side retired. First strikeout for Warren. Yankees regain the lead. 2 runs, 3 hits. No errors, 2 left. Middle of the 5th. Yankees 5. Top 5 to gone, top 5-3. Francisco Lindor leads off for the Mets. Marcus Stroman's first pitch, a slurve that's low for ball 1. So the Mets with the big boys up here in the 5th inning. Lindor, Soto, and Alonso. Francisco has twice grounded out to the first baseman, Paul Goldschmidt, pitcher covering. Stroman will do that. The 1-0 swung on and fouled into the mid of the catcher, Escara. And the count 1-1. I think Marcus Stroman is probably the best fielding pitcher that I've ever seen. And, you know, there have been some great ones. Greg Maddux comes to mind immediately. He is fun to watch defensively. The 1-1 fouled back to the screen, 1-2. And I remember him telling me when he was with the Mets that he still likes to go out during BP and field some ground balls over around shortstop and have some fun. He could play the middle infield at the major league level, no question. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Gets Lindor with a split. Third strikeout for Stroman. One man out before Soto will pause for station ID.
This is Odyssey Mets Radio on WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
Howie Rose, Keith Radd with you at Citi Field. Yankees 5, Mets 3, 1 out, bottom 5. Here's Soto. Takes first pitch curveball for a called strike, 0-1. Soto tied the game in the first with a 2-run homer and then doubled and scored in the third. That run gave the Mets a 3-2 lead. Here's the 0-1. Way outside off the glove of Vizcarra, and it rolls to the backstop, 1-1. New York baseball fans step up to the plate with Malloy University, just 35 minutes from Manhattan, with 80-plus programs in D2 sports. Visit MOLLOY.edu. 1-1 to Soto. Swing on a chopper foul, rolling up the first base line. And it is 1-2. Yankees have hit 4 home runs in this game. The most they've ever hit in a game against the Mets is 6 in a game the Mets won. Known here as the Matt Franco game, when Franco got the game-winning hit on July 10th of 1999 at Shea Stadium. That game also featured a home run that Mike Piazza hit off of Ramiro Mendoza, and I think that's the hardest ball I have ever seen hit for a home run in my life. The 1-2 to Soto. Swing and a liner the other way. Base hit into left center. Just as Volpe, the shortstop, had started to move a little closer to the second base bag, Soto went the other way with a base hit, and he's 3 for 3, a triple away from the cycle. So with one out, Pete Alonso will be the tying man at the plate.
Stroman's day maybe not done, but close to done. The Yankees have lefty Javian Sandridge, who they just called up in that bullpen out there. One of the 2 lefties, the other one being the tall, slender Tim Hill.
Here's Alonso now. He's got Piazza-like power. Right hand batter. First pitch. Swing and a miss at a sinker, 0-1. That home run that Piazza hit off of Mendoza was one that I saw from the field boxes at Shea Stadium. I was sitting with my family because I was doing TV back in those days, and that game was on national television. So we're on the third base side. Here's the 0-1, taken down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. And I'm telling you, the ball came off of Mike's bat with a sound that I don't think I'd ever heard before from a baseball meeting a baseball bat. And it sailed way beyond a tent that the Mets used to construct for Subway Series games for sponsors and the like. The 1-1 on the way, breaking ball down and away, 2-1. That tent was actually set up beyond the left field bullpen. So if you can picture Shea Stadium, it was 358 to the bullpen wall, and then I don't know how many feet, 20, 30 behind that to the back wall, and then the 10th, and then where Piazza landed that home run. It was nuts. Actually, Joker was the first home run hit in the history of Citi Field, because that's about where it landed. 2-1 pitch. Alonso drills it in the air to left center and deep. Bellinger back with a play, makes the catch on the warning track, and back to first goes Soto.
Now Pete's shaking his head. I think the way he watched that and dropped the bat, he thought he might have had something there. Remember yesterday he hit 112 off the bat that basically pierced the wall, maybe 20 feet to the left of where this one went. So further out towards center. More real estate for Cody Bellinger, who made the catch on the track.
So 2 men away, and here's McNeil. They'll let Stroman pitch to Jeff. First pitch. Breaking ball in for a called strike 1. Alonso was the cleanup hitter, brought to you by Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood plumber. McNeil hit by a pitch, grounded to first. It's 5-3. Yankees lead the Mets, 2 out. Last of the 5th, Soto at first. Throw to first by Stroman. No tag made as Soto dives back in. If McNeil keeps it going, Luis Torrens due up next. But as the left-hander, Sandridge is the guy up in the pen. He's getting some assistance out there as well because right-hander Ian Hamilton has not only joined Sandridge, looks like Sandridge has sat down.
Yeah, I think they set him. I think if Lindor had gotten on ahead of the lefty Soto, that was probably the spot to shoot him in there. And maybe if Pete got on ahead of the lefty McNeil, you'd see somebody in there. Now Stroman is getting into it with the home plate umpire who's met him halfway between home plate and the mound. And here comes Aaron Boone to get in the way.
Stroman's hot.
Estabrook has been telling him all game about eye contact and getting set too quickly, and he's warned him all day. I don't think he nicked him for a ball, even though I think it's 1-1, so maybe he did call a ball on Stroman for having warned him too many times coming set too quickly. And then you can see why Stroman's upset.
Well, he's going to go back to the mound now and try to settle down and get McNeil. You would imagine that this is it for Stroman, this inning anyway. Blas Diaz, the crew chief, took over a lot of that conversation with Boone and Stroman. But everybody's back in position and we're ready to go. And so, yeah, the count is 1-1 now on Jeff McNeil. Soto at first, 2 out, bottom of the 5th. Yankees 5, Mets 3. 1-1 pitch, Soto runs. Swing on a foul ball, rolling towards Torrens near the on-deck circle. And so Soto will have to go back to first. He wants to make sure time is out. I don't know that Soto saw what happened. Not sure whether that could have been a wild pitch or anything else, just making sure the time was out before he vacated the bag and went to first base. So 1-2 to McNeil. Stroman sets. Here's a pitch. Swing on a foul that's held by Escarra, strike 3, and that retires the side. No runs a hit, 1 left at the end of 5. It's the Yankees 5, the Mets 3 on Odyssey Mets Radio. The Mets. On for the Mets, he will face Paul Goldschmidt, J.C. Escarra, and Anthony Volpe here in the 6th inning. And I knew Bob Waterman would come through.
Look at this.
Asked him eventually via email. Here's Goldschmidt, first pitch, sinker missed down and in, ball 1. As Jason Dominguez and Aaron Judge, the first 2 batters in this game, homered, I wondered if a Subway Series game between these teams had ever begun similarly. Or identically, I suppose. Here's the 1-0. Down the middle for a called strike. A fastball. It's 1-1 anyway. Mr. Waterman tells us that on June 28, 2003 at Shea Stadium, Alonso Soriano and Derek Jeter hit home runs off of Tom Glavine to begin that game. The 1-1 to Goldschmidt is a sweeper down and away, 2-1. So thank you, Bob Waterman. Dominguez and Judge today. Soriano and Jeter 22 years ago. 2-1 pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball to second. Waiting on it, McNeil scoops it up throws to first in time, one away. And to be exact, 22 years and 6 days since that game at Shea Stadium, which was the second game of one of those crazy but certainly unique to New York, and something you weren't crazy about when it happened, but you look back and it was fun to be a part of. 2 stadium doubleheader. One at Yankee Stadium, one at Shea. Here's Escara, and he takes a strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-1.
Well, we talked about that actually in April when Nimmo had the 9 RBI game against the Nationals this year, which tied the Delgado record, because that was game 1 of that doubleheader.
Here's the 0-1. Taken outside 1-1. That was actually a different game.
Right, so I should say that too.
But it was the same scenario.
Right.
Yeah, that took place in 2008, the last year that the Mets were at Shea and the Yankees were at the original Yankee Stadium. Here's the 1-1. Taken down and in. It scoots to the backstop, ball 2. In that game, the last game the Mets played at the old Yankee Stadium, Charlie Samuels was the equipment manager for the Mets. He used to love the black jerseys and the drop. I always used to argue with him about that. And he decided for the last game at Yankee Stadium, 2-1 to Escara. Here's the pitch. Taken outside, ball 3. Back then on the road, the Mets ensemble, when they wore their gray uniforms, which had that dopey black drop shadow anyway, which kind of ruined it, was that they would wear the black and blue-billed caps, which also stunk. 3-1 to Escara, taken high for ball 4. So 1-out walk, it'll bring up Anthony Volpe. But anyway, Charlie had the idea that, to honor tradition, Mets last game at the original Yankee Stadium, let them wear the blue caps with the gray road jerseys. And so what happened? Delgado goes crazy, hits all those home runs, drives in, 9 RBIs, I guess. And, I love giving it to him about how that should have been something permanent. Here's Volpe, breaking ball for a called strike, 0-1.
I can't imagine the absolute insane stress that it would take to finish a game here or there and then drive to the other place along with everybody else in the city.
Well, see, that's part of the issue. The 0-1 to Volpe, a breaking ball. He starts his hands but did not go. And the count 1-1. Pitch was down and away. When you're with the ball club as a broadcaster, you're part of the traveling party. So you get on the bus. And the bus gets a police escort.
Ooh.
Yeah, you bet. 1-1 to Volpe. Taken down and away. Throw back to first by Torrent. Close play, but Escara just dives back safely, and the count 2-1 on Anthony Volpe. But anyway,
I will say, if you didn't get the escort, you probably no buses would ever make it across this town in time to start a game.
We were sitting on those buses, and I could feel for the people who were sitting in absolute bumper-to-bumper traffic. It was on a weekday after the first game, the one at Yankee Stadium, as we came here from the Bronx. 2-1 to Volpe, hit hard on one hop to short. Fielded by Lindor to second one. McNeil to first. Got him. Double play, side retired. Close play at first. Don't think the Yankees will challenge, and that takes care of the Yankees in the 6th inning. No.
You've been on a hot streak since the season started, Aries, so you're hesitant to pump the brakes when you start to feel tired. But taking time for recovery won't stop your growing momentum. You can find ways to channel your energy that are also restorative for your body, such as hopping in a cold plunge or a hot sauna. You'll be able to stay on your toes without completely extinguishing your flame.
And that's first pitch, and that's ripped in the air to deep right field. So long, ball into the old bullpen in right field. A 3-run homer for Delgado. His second home run of the game. Carlos Delgado has driven in 9 runs. Yeah, that was back in 2008, the original Yankee Stadium. Right now, the Mets are trailing the Yankees 5-3, and Jamian Sandridge, a left-hander, is making his debut. His first pitch to Luis Torrens hit deep to straightaway center. Bellinger back makes an over-the-shoulder catch as he crosses onto the warning track in front of the 408 mark. So, first pitch, 407 or so feet.
Yeah, I was close for Torrens, who again didn't homer in Pittsburgh since March 31st. Almost had one right there.
So 1 man away, Brett Beatty coming up. My apologies, that's Ian Hamilton and not Sandridge, who was throwing earlier. So here is Beatty, who's 1 for 2. First pitch on the way, taken down and in. Ball 1, Beatty singled and grounded to second. So the veteran Ian Hamilton, he's faced 131 hitters this year. He's only allowed 20 hits, and that's including Torrens' fly ball out. The 1-0, Beatty hits one deep to right field. This has some legs. It might go, and it's gone. A home run. Brett Beatty hits one just beyond the Pace and Cadillac Club into the lower stands in right field. For Beatty, his 9th home run of the year, and the Yankees' lead is cut to 5-4. The second home run hit by the Mets, the 6th in this game. And so Hamilton has faced 2 batters, giving up a 408-foot out and then a home run.
Beatty's first home run since the Tampa Bay Rays series in mid-June, June the 14th. So certainly for the bottom of the lineup right now, with the way that the top of the lineup has hit, the bottom of the lineup needs to kind of show up. That's a big swing by Beatty to just get the Mets a little bit life back.
Here's Mauricio 0 for 2. First pitch, swung on, foul, back to the screen, 0-1. Well, that was the textbook play of the game, brought to you by Malloy University. Your future starts today. So it's one of those games. The bullpens are going to have to figure this out because the hitters are ready and the weather is cooperating. The 0-1 on the outside corner, a slider, 0-2. This is the time of year, and these are the conditions today, and a breeze blowing out a bit towards left as well, where the ball will fly. The 0-2, breaking ball low, 1-2. You watch games in Citi Field in April and May, and everybody's wondering, how come the ball's not carrying? What is this, a ridiculously big pitcher's park? Well, it was when it opened. They've moved the fences in several times. 1-2 pitch, swinging a little number up the third base line, kicks foul. And the only hope was for Ian Hamilton that ball was going to go foul because there was no help anywhere near. The infield with 2 strikes on Mauricio deep and with the third baseman Chisholm way off the line. That was either going to stay fair and be a hit for Mauricio or roll foul. Well, it went foul.
Tell you what is interesting coming up here as we look down at the field is the light stanchions, the shadows. They're about to take over at home plate. Right now, these hitters have enjoyed great weather, great sunshine, but the pitchers will soon have the advantage with the shadows covering the dish.
1-2 to Mauricio. Swinging a drive deep to right field, down the line. It's going to be in for a hit, and one hops the wall. The carom played perfectly by Judge, and Mauricio slams on the brakes around first base. Well, the ball sometimes comes off the bat of Ronnie Mauricio with so much velocity that it's hard to get an extra base in situations like that where the outfielder fields the carom as cleanly as Judge did. And with Judge having a strong arm, Mauricio did the smart thing and say, I'll just hold on at first base and congratulate myself on a hard hit single.
105 mile an hour hard hit single. And boy, Judge's arm, that's kind of a look at this weekend that you just still don't run on that right arm of Aaron Judge.
So again here, a chance for the Mets as they've done damage against Hamilton. 1 out, a run in, and Taylor the batter. First pitch, fastball over, a called strike, 0-1. It's been a rather slow-paced game with all the runs. Brought to you by Optimum Fiber. Don't take slow for an answer. Nobody's even paying attention to the pace of this game. There's been a lot going on, and it's been fun. A little more fun for the Yankees than the Mets. The 0-1 taken high, 1-1. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Yankees. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Mets. And the Yankees have lefty Tim Hill now in their bullpen. Sandridge, the lefty, had been up earlier. 1-1 to Taylor. Pitch. Swing and a miss at a slider that was up. So the count 1-2. Taylor, the number 9 hitter in the order. Brandon Nimmo, a left-hand batter on deck, and that might be where Hill factors in. Throw to first. High throw, rescued by Goldschmidt. Mauricio dives in easily. So the veteran side armor Hill getting ready, and I would imagine with Nimmo on deck and then the switch hitting Lindor and left-hand hitting Soto that it's made for Hill to follow Taylor here. 1-2 pitch. Swing on a high pop-up, shallow left. Moving in Dominguez. Plenty of hang time, and he makes the one-hand catch, 2 men away, and let's see what Yankee manager Aaron Boone does here. Well, here he comes, so we get a quick answer. Waiting for Boone just to make the signal to the pen to be sure. Hill is still on the mound. He's going to try to sneak another pitch or two in, but now the sign goes out. And there will be a pitching change. This call to the bullpen brought to you by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play the newest scratch-off games for a chance to win.
What separates you from world-class joint surgery isn't a bridge or a tunnel.
I'm going to throw out a restaurant kitchen term to you, and then hit me with the baseball one. I'll start first.
Okay.
Mise en place.
Oh, mise en place. That is, as the chef, you put all your different ingredients out, kind of before you start cooking, right?
You got it, man. Yeah. That's the most important
That's a tough one. I hear this one a lot because of my name, can of corn.
Easy fly ball.
This weekend, high caffeinated stuff. Although, of course, the Subway Series generally provides its own caffeine. But for these games, you can never have enough. Same thing with pitching. I don't know if either team has enough, but they're going to get it to the finish line with someone, one way or the other. And Tim Hill, the veteran lefty, who's been with the Royals and the Padres, will come on, and he's faced much bigger challenges than this. He's a guy who's come back from colon cancer. Facing Brandon Nimmo on the first pitch, in for a called strike. A fastball, 0-1. Drops down, side armor, not a particularly hard thrower. That fastball at 88 miles an hour. Nimmo 1 for 3. Mauricio at first, 2 out the pitch. Fastball at the knees, a called strike. And quickly, 0-2 to Brandon Nimmo.
Just one extra base hit for a lefty against a lefty, Tim Hill. He is so tough left on left.
Hill ready, the 0-2. Swinging a chopper towards third, backing off on a Chisholm. He's got it, throws high to second, and out is the call. Mauricio, for some reason, I'm going to assume that it was a force out at second, but it was such a high throw, and I don't know if Mauricio thought that ball had gotten away from DJ LeMahieu, but Mauricio turned the bag at second, took a couple of steps towards third. So either forced out or tagged out, it doesn't matter. The inning's over, but there have been a couple of strange base running moves made by Mets in this game. First Beatty, now Mauricio. In any event, Mets settle for a run on 2 hits. No errors, 1 left. At the end of 6, sometimes straight.
We wanted to introduce something new. And then working in some of our past and what the past can look like in the future. I think our players absolutely love it, and our fans, we think they'll learn to love it, especially if you can win in it. You know, that kind of solves everything.
I want to ask you about food. What is something that you have to eat to beat a judge?
Oh, Aaron Judge! Send him to Monument Park now!
We got some good chefs in New York. They've been cooking up some nice chopped cheeses, and that kind of, it gets you, I don't know if I should tell the kids that they should be eating chopped cheese before a game.
Before the game, probably steak. That's usually what I go to.
I like a steak, no vegetables.
No vegetables?
No vegetables.
No, is it straight protein?
Yeah.
Convenience is an award-winning service. Bank at your local branch, from home or on the go. Let Ridgewood be the full-service banking partner you rely on in your financial journey. Visit ridgewoodbank.com to find out more. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Now is the perfect time to get a Peerless Boiler. Don't wait. Go to peerlessboilers.com for more information and an installer near you. And remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers.
We go to the 7th inning here at Citi Field, where the Yankees have a 5-4 lead over the Mets. Huascar Brazoban, new pitcher for the Mets. Keith?
First one to DJ LeMahieu. He swings and fouls it away to the right side for strike one. So which Brazoban emerges out of that bullpen? Is it the one that over the first 2 months of the season pitched to a microscopic ERA, or the one from June? Brazoban's ERA in June was over 13. 0-1, chopped foul straight down. The count 0-2 on LeMahieu. Well, the Mets are still throwing him into a spot that you'd imagine it's the 1.16 ERA Brazoban, because after LeMahieu, you've got the top of the order, Dominguez, Judge, Bellinger, and Stanton. So after Brazoban's opener set up the other day against Milwaukee, the Mets like what they saw. They'd love to get him back to what he was at the start of the year, because he was terrific. June was upside down for him. 0-2 on LeMahieu. 5-4 Yankees. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Good split change-up for Brazoban, and a good start to this one for the righty. So one away as we come to you live from the Bob Murphy broadcast booth, proudly presented by Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly. And now to the top of the order for Jason Dominguez. 5-4 Yankees. First pitch. Missed high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Now, SNY just showed a replay of that play at second base where Nimmo hit the ball to third and Chisholm threw to second base to get the force. 1-0, high and away. 2 balls and no strikes. And that throw to second base was a force to get Mauricio. Now, the throw looked high, and so LeMahieu had to jump off the bag and came down and didn't land on the bag. The 2-0. Outside, 3 balls and no strikes. So the force was not made, but Mauricio, who got to second, then somehow, for some reason, took a turn toward third, was tagged out, but he was looking back, thought the ball got away. 3-0, that one gets away, down and in, and Brazoban walks Dominguez ahead of Judge. So for Brazoban, 3 straight strikes, 4 straight balls, and here is Judge. We'll pause 10 seconds, station ID.
This is Odyssey Mets Radio on WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
At Citi Field, Mets and Yankees. First one to Judge. At the knees, inside corner. Change up, strike, 0-1. Judge a homer, one of the 4 the Yankees have hit. 3 solo homers and a 2-run home run by Dominguez, who leads at first. 7th inning, 1 out. Brazoban steps off. Judge hit his 32nd home run, chasing after the Major League leader, also out of the American League, Seattle's Cal Raleigh, who homered again today. 34 home runs for Cal Raleigh. 0-1. Inside, almost hit him, and Judge gives a look out to Brazoban, and kind of a nod. Okay kind of nod. And it's 1-1. The shadows from that light stanchion above the third base line down on home plate. 1-1, missed low, changeup, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. So you have the pitcher in the sun and the hitter in the shadow. So that ball on its way toward the plate will change colors, will darken on the hitter as it gets closer to the plate. 2-1. Fouled off to the right, and it's 2-2. So those scores brought to you by Food Bazaar Supermarket. Shop local, eat global. Seattle up 2-0 on Pittsburgh. In Seattle, top of the 4th. Again, Raleigh has hit a home run, his 34th. Phillies lost today against Cincinnati 9-6. 2-2. Judge cuts and misses. Got him with a changeup. Snap to first. Dominguez back in. The Judge strikes out after Brazaban kind of brushed him back, and Judge gave him a look. Brazaban is flip-flop here. He's gone strikeout, walk, strikeout. And here's the lefty, Cody Bellinger, in a 1-run game. Yankees 5, Mets 4. Bellinger has also homered. That was off Hagenman. Pitch. Missed outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Miles Michaelis set a Cardinals record today on the wrong side. He gave up 6 home runs. That is a St. Louis Cardinal record. Think of all the history of that club. Throw to first. And Dominguez dives back in safely. The Cubs ended up hitting 8 total, setting their own new team record. 2 clubs with a lot of history. Cubs won 11-3, beating up on St. Louis pitching. 1-0, Dominguez goes, pitch taken, throw down from Terrence. The ball goes into center field. Dominguez holds as Taylor backs up the play. It looked like a pretty good throw to that first base side of second, right where the runner would slide in, but it bounced as it came into the bag, and so Lindor couldn't get a glove on it. He was waiting in that spot, and he actually reached for the ball, but as he reached for the ball, his glove hit into the runner, which deflected the glove. So a stolen base for Dominguez. 2-0 on Bellinger. 2 outs. Pitch. Outside. 3 balls and no strikes.
Might as well just put him on now. You know, Stanton is still rounding into shape after coming back, but you got to be careful here. First base is open. You can't give Bellinger a cookie.
3-0. On the outside corner, strike with a split changeup, and it's 3-1. That was at the knees on Bellinger. Bellinger's 13th of the season came in the 4th inning. That tied the game. It's now 5-4 Yankees. 3-1. Swing and a miss at a changeup. I'll tell you, he had eyes for that Coca-Cola corner yet again, but came up short. And now Brazaban is a strike away from getting out of this 7th inning. Mets pitching job today, just keep them in the game. Hope the offense can show up. And now time called by Bellinger. Infield back around to the right. Dominguez off second base. 3-2. Fouled back. And Bellinger lunging and reaching for the sinker. Just fought it off the other way.
That's an emergency swing because I think, as you described it earlier, it's harder picking up that ball coming out of the pitcher's hand when he's in the sun and the hitter's in the shade.
Payoff again. Got him looking inside corner. A changeup is backed up. Front hip pitch that came back in over the inside corner. Brazaban ends up striking out 3 in a scoreless 7th. The Yankees leave a man at second. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Subway Series, the Yankees 5 and the New York Mets 4. 1st and 3, Mets and Yankees on Odyssey Mets Radio.
And if you want a Cy Young, 73, 5, and 6, I've got an extra 5. And then it says, has worked as a TV commentator. You know, and I did start back in 1978. I did the Yankees and the Red Sox playing the one-game playoff. And ABC said if the Yankees win, Reggie will play, and then you'll go broadcast with Howard Cosell and Keith Jackson. And that's how I started my broadcast. And that's the Bucky Dent home run. So every time I see Bucky Dent, I go, thank you for making me a broadcaster.
What is something that you snack on that you don't worry about?
I love Uncrustables. I could eat like 10 of them in one sitting.
And no regard for his body? I don't even wait till I thaw out.
Hey, put them in a toaster next time. Just toast it, yep. It'll change your life.
You back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today.
Bottom of the 7th inning on this 4th of July Friday in New York City. Mets come to the plate, chasing a run. It is 5-4 Yankees. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the New York Mets and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Mets. In the inning, our big hitters are coming up. Lindor, Soto, and Alonso against the skinny lefty, Tim Hill. Hill finished out the 6th inning on that wacky play where Nimmo grounded the ball to third. Chisholm threw over to second to get the force. It was a high throw pulling LeMahieu off the bag. And as we saw in replay later, LeMahieu did not come down on the bag for the out. Mauricio, though, overran the bag, thinking the ball got away. And he was tagged out by LeMahieu. It all happened bang, bang. I think LeMahieu was just kind of surprised that Mauricio did what he did. But for Hill, he's coming out for the 7th, so he has to face at least 2 hitters. And he's out there while Aaron Boone has some bullpen up behind him. But a shot for the Mets, down by 1. 9 outs to work with offensively. Lindor first. Pitch. Swinging a ground ball hit toward third. Fielded along the line by Chisholm. Sets and throws in time to get Lindor. 1 pitch and 1 out. So Soto and then Alonso, who's on deck. And that's brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit timbertech.com. Yankees 5, Mets 4. Soto was and has been a big part of the game today for the Mets. Actually a triple shy of the cycle. Has homered, doubled, and singled. Left on left. Pitched from Hill. Way inside, almost hit him. That's 1 ball and no strikes. Of course, Soto was a Yankee last year. You might have known that. But he knows all about Tim Hill, lefty specialist, who was actually not used in that first game of the World Series out of the bullpen late. 1-0, in for a strike. And it's 1-1. Nestor Cortez instead came in, give up the home run to Freddie Freeman. Freddie, meet Gibby, one of the great calls I've ever heard Joe Davis make. 1-1, lifted foul off to the left. And that's 1-2. Freddie Freeman. Kirk Gibson, walk-off home runs at Dodger Stadium in the World Series. Pretty amazing. Now something's gotten loose out there in center field. It is a blue balloon underneath that party deck in center. So Mike Estabrook just letting everybody know that he's got those laser eyes to call balls and strikes and laser eyes to see the balloon get loose.
He must have been screaming at Cody Bellinger because it took a while for Bellinger to hear him and finally turn around and go after it.
So we are balloonless and ready for the 1-2. Hill deals home. Soto chops it foul, getting jammed. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Injury update brought to you by the Rothenberg Law Firm. If you're injured in an accident, the game plan is simple. Just go to injurylawyer.com. Found out today Kodai Senga is going on rehab tomorrow, which is good news for the Mets. 1-2. Up and away. Just missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The word was about Senga is that 60 to 65 pitches, which for your first rehab back is good news. Again, he hurt his hamstring and kept throwing. 2-2 from Hill. Soto hits it high in the air to left field, sending Bellinger back toward the track, but it's Dominguez with him making the catch on the track in deep left center field. Both came together there, and Soto, who went out that way earlier in the game, flies out that way this time. 2 down in the 7th. Tim Hill, we mentioned, has only given up 1 extra base hit against lefties. Righties have a little bit more success. Aaron Boone knows that. And so against Pete Alonso, it'll be somebody else. 5-4, the Yankees in the 7th. Pitching change and slow down in action is brought to you by Iservay.
Diving for that grounder got you grounded? We've got specialists for that. Layup, take you down? We've got specialists.
the righty in lead. Weaver, the righty, in there to face Pete Alonso. And hey guys, no matter which side of the bridge you're on, you can make a difference and up to $2,400 a month as a sperm donor with California Cryobank. Go to spermbank.com to learn more. So for Weaver, a couple outings back from the injured list, hurt his hamstring. He has been insanely good with the Yankees. The guy lifetime has pitched to ERAs over 4, near 5, sometimes near 6 with some of the different teams he's been on. With the Yankees, far and away his best few years of his career, he's pitched to a 2.88 lifetime ERA with the Yankees in 95 appearances with him. Facing Pete Alonso, trying to tie the game. Bases clear, 2 outs, full windup, pitch way outside, missed with 95, and it's a ball and no strikes. Now, Weaver has, again, been around with a lot of different teams. Mets saw him starting for Cincinnati. He's been with Arizona. And when he was pitching against the Mets, Mets would knock him around. They weren't alone. There's the 1-0 to Pete. Strike on the outside corner. Looked like it was maybe a touch off the plate, but Mike Estabrook has opened things wide up all day long. So 1-1 on Alonso, who's in the sunshine for the moment, but there's a shadow between the mound and home plate. Weaver in the sun deals. He misses outside. 2 balls and a strike. Now, what's made Weaver really good is actually a change in some of the grips that he's thrown, and not to get all heavy on that, but the guy that did that, Desi Druschel, was with the Yankees, is now with the Mets. He's the assistant pitching coach in his first year working with Jeremy Hefner. 2-1 to Alonso. Now that's outside. Looked like the same exact area off the plate, but it's now 3-1 on Pete, and all of a sudden a really good count. McNeil, the lefty, is on deck. Alonso today an RBI single. He's 1 for 3. Mets down a run in the 7th. Here's the 3-1. At the knees, called strike, 96. Alonso with a step toward first is pulled back by that Estabrook zone. And Pete, as he makes his way back to the righty batter's box, shakes his head, and over his shoulder is the yelling Carlos Mendoza. And again, it's been both sides with that Estabrook strike zone this afternoon. So 3-2 on Pete. 2 outs in the 7th. Bases clear. Mets down a run. The windup and the payoff. Low, ball 4. Check swing. He didn't go. And so Alonso is on against Weaver. And that'll bring up Jeff McNeil. So now a chance for the Mets to get the reverse split here with a lefty hitter and a righty pitcher. Jeff in the 5th batter spotlight today. 5th batter spotlight sponsored by Key Food. Look for all your favorite products at your local Key Food. Key Food and their family of supermarkets. McNeil today hit by a pitch. A disengagement as Weaver just stepped off. No throw on Alonso. Weaver this year, 2nd year with the Yankees, has pitched to a 2.64 ERA. Deep breath, first pitch. McNeil taps it straight down, foul off his body, and it's 0-1. Weaver, though, against lefties, is holding them to a 118 batting average and absolutely no power. 363 OPS, and that is terrible for lefty hitters. The set and the 0-1. Missed down low, a changeup, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Righties have had at least a chance. They've hit 211 against Weaver. Alonso, one of those, earned the walk. One of the guys that closes games out for the Yankees, pitching here in the 7th. Mets down a run, 2 outs, 1-1 on McNeil. Weaver holds and deals. Misses outside, a changeup, and it's 2 balls and a strike. And the Yankees coming off of a long series up in Toronto. Weaver actually pitched yesterday through 21 pitches. So the Mets will see Devin Williams at some point as well. Well, this is a high leverage arm for the Yankees in the 7th inning. 2-1 on McNeil, and Weaver steps off again. So that's 2 disengagements in this plate appearance. Probably does not open the cage and let Alonso just run wild.
I don't think Pete's going anywhere.
No. Walking lead off first. Goldschmidt holding him on. 2-1. Up and away. 3 balls and 1 strike on Jeff McNeil. So all of a sudden, McNeil staying patient. He is such an aggressive hitter at times and so patient at other times. He's on base actually at 343 right now, so he's taking his walks. 2 outs, runner on. Weaver holds at the chest, 3-1. On the outside corner, strike with a fastball. McNeil looking for the walk there. That was there at the knees over the plate. That was the right call, and it's now 3-2. McNeil also trying to lay off that changeup. That is one of Weaver's best pitches against lefties. No hold on Alonso, ready to run. 3-2, 2 outs, 7th inning. There he goes. Pitch coming, and it's drilled. Deep right field. McNeil sends this one out of here. Second deck shot, Jeff McNeil, and the lead. 2-run bomb. And the Mets are in front 6-5. What a shot for McNeil in the 7th inning. 2 outs, 2 strikes. Turns that sucker right around, and the Mets are in front. McNeil is jacked up as he steps on home plate, pumps his fist straight down and now down the steps of that dugout, getting the high fives, getting swallowed up amongst his teammates. We've seen a lot of home runs today, and for McNeil, that one was colossal. Here's Terrence. And this place is coming alive. 6-5 Mets in the 7th. Let's go Mets chant in a stadium filled with Met and Yankee fans. Right now, the Mets fans are drowning out their crosstown rivals. Hey, looking at the replay, McNeil made contact, and before almost finishing that foul through, he looked into the dugout. He knew it. Pitch to Terrence, fouled back, strike 1.
Tell you one thing, there are going to be 6 very difficult outs to get to maintain this lead.
Well, who's going to get him? We've talked about Ryan Stanek is down, Edwin Diaz is down. Somebody's got to be up. Here's the 0-1. At the knees called strike, and it's 0-2. Right now, Reed Garrett is throwing. And if there's a silver lining to the fact that there's, of course, a lead, but you got to get 6 outs, it'll be Stanton, Chisholm, and Goldschmidt, 4, 5, and 6, starting in the 8th. The guys, Dominguez, Judge, and Bellinger, just made the last out. Time called as the pitch is coming in. Laz Diaz getting everybody's attention. We have another balloon sighting. And Jason Dominguez in left field had his palms up going, what's the issue? And then turned around to see a red balloon. And then cocked his head back, saying, all right, I'll go pick it up. I should probably just pop it, really. And he flips it up to a fan. So that pitch does not count. Home plate umpire Mike Esserbrook holds up 0-2. 6-5 Mets in the bottom of the 7th inning on Jeff McNeil's 2-run home run off Luke Weaver. 0-2 on Terrence. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him with a fastball. Inning over. Seesaw game. It's been so exciting, and now the Mets are back in front. Jeff McNeil, 2-run home run.
The name of the business is Legacy Catering. We all were talking about how Mom taught us all how to cook. She was a cook at the public school system for ages. So we all started to cook with her, so we decided, to do the business, so we went to figure out what we're going to call it. So we said, let's cook in honor of our mother, so that's what Legacy came in. And just remember that Legacy Catering is about people, and this is what barbecuing is all about, and this is why we love it.
Now we go to the 8th inning at Citi Field. Subway Series Game 1. The Mets have a 6-5 lead over the Yankees. The Mets have hit 3 home runs. The Yankees have hit 4 home runs. Jeff McNeil's 2-run shot in the bottom of the 7th. So far, the biggest home run at this point. At this point, so far, you kind of get the idea. This thing is far from over. And Howie, the Mets with a depleted bullpen, probably no Static, probably no Diaz, are going to ask Reed Garrett to pitch the 8th.
And this is going to be a challenge, not just for Garrett here, but to find 6 outs with that short pen. First pitch to Stanton, taken for a called strike, a sinker, 0-1. Remember, Garrett's last time out did not go well against Milwaukee in the first game of the day-night doubleheader on Wednesday. The 0-1 on the way, outside with a sweeper, 1 ball and 1 strike. In that game, Garrett gave up an RBI double to the first batter he faced, single, walk, and then Joey Ortiz took him out for a grand slam. 1-1 the count to Stanton. Outfield deep and straight away. Here's the pitch. Fastball over a called strike, and it's 0-2. That's going to keep the bullpen up. They have left-hander Richard Lovelady throwing. 1-2 to Stanton. Garrett delivers. Breaking ball swung out and missed, strike 3. It was a high sweeper, but Stanton down on strikes, 1 man away.
He really buckled his knees there, had him guessing. It was a swing, a late swing, if anything, there from Giancarlo Stanton.
So that will bring up Jazz Chisholm, a left-hand hitter with power. He is 1 for 3. The third baseman, Beatty, creeps up a little bit. He's even with the bag right at the edge of the infield grass. First pitch on the way. Swinging a bouncing ball foul up the first base line. Skipping off of the protective netting next to the dugout. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Paul Goldschmidt, another dangerous hitter on deck. Not a lot of soft touches here. 0-1 on Chisholm. Now the pitch. Fastball just missed inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Let's have Lindor, the shortstop, swung over towards second base against the left-hand batter. Alonso deep and just a stride or 2 off the line at first. 1-1 pitch. Swing on a liner to center, a base hit for Chisholm. It was a split that Chisholm went down to get and sends it into center for his second hit of the game. A 1-out single, and it's going to bring up the still dangerous and powerful Paul Goldschmidt. Remember, Chisholm can steal a bag, too. He's got 10 and has been caught just twice. So, can Garrett get a ground ball here? That would be very helpful to the Mets. Goldschmidt has flied to center, struck out looking, and grounded to second. Garrett's first pitch. Swinging a little pop-up left side of the infield. Beatty calling, the third baseman, makes the one-hand catch. 2 men away. And that will bring up J.C. Escara. At least he's due up. The left-hand hitting catcher. Paid crowd today, 41,216. For the first of 3 between the Mets and the Yankees this weekend.
I think we're going to get a pinch hitter here, which means Carlos Mendoza may be thinking about a couple of things, too. Now, Escara is a lefty. That is Ben Rice, who has come out, pulling on those white batting gloves, getting ready to hit. So Ben Rice is going to be the one that jumps out here and faces Reed Garrett.
And he's dangerous. He's got a lot of power. He's got 14 home runs. He's been streaky this year. He's actually even caught at times for the Yankees. But Rice may very well wind up back behind the plate in the bottom of this inning as he is hitting for the catcher, J.C. Escara. Make sure to stay tuned after the game for the Verizon Mets postgame show. For the latest deals, drop into your local Verizon store. So 2 out here in the top of the 8th inning. The Mets lead the Yankees 6-5. Escara had gone 0 for 2 with a walk. Chisholm, who can run, is at first base. Got to be careful here. He can steal a bag. Garrett to the belt. Actually sets higher than that. First pitch. Off the outside corner with a split. 0-1.
It's a situation, too, where you have a lefty, Richard Lovelady, who could face a lefty, but the Mets trust Reed Garrett as a righty more in this situation than they do Lovelady.
That split can be a good weapon to left-handers. The pitch, that's in for a called strike, a sweeper. And it's 1-1. Lindor now has moved a little bit closer towards the bag at second base, right at the edge of the outfield grass. Beatty way off the line at third. Chisholm not too big a lead here. Now stretches it out. Big lead. Bounces back towards first. Garrett deals. Missed low with a split. And it's 2-1. Anthony Volpe, the guy who's got power, due up next. There really is power all over the Yankee lineup. Even some of them are not guys you would immediately think of as big-time home run hitters. Remember, though, Ben Rice has 14. He's the go-ahead man at the plate. The pitch, way inside. Garrett missed badly with a cutter, and it's 3-1. Chisholm has not bothered running yet from first base, knowing that Rice has the power. The Yankees are looking for here. They have hit 4 home runs in this game. The Mets have hit 3. 3-1 to Rice. Garrett ready. Here's pitch. Swinging a roller foul over by the Mets dugout. So now it's 3-2, which means that Chisholm will have the automatic start from first base. And a lot of this crowd, regardless of their rooting interest, somewhat nervously begin to applaud. Mets fans trying to help Garrett through. Yankees fans imploring Rice. 3-2. Chisholm runs. Payoff pitch. Swinging a high fly ball. Left center field's going to stay in the yard. Taylor, edge of the track. Makes the one-hand catch. Side retired. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 1 left. Middle.
Oppo Taco.
I'm gonna guess it's an opposite field, upper deck, maybe something like a
home run to the opposite field.
Yeah.
You got it.
This is a good one. A hack.
I don't know. I mean, is it the same as like the layman's term hack, like a bad chef?
You've guessed correctly.
Okay.
Someone's a hack. You know, someone that's just nailing it in.
Yeah.
They're not putting their heart into it.
We go to the bottom of the 8th inning at Citi Field. The Mets lead the Yankees 6-5. Righty Scott Effross, who was just called up from AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre, will come on to pitch the bottom of the 8th inning. And let's see who's coming out to catch. I would imagine it'll be Rice. After Rice hit for the starting catcher, J.C. Escara, and that is Rice, who is going to hang in behind home plate. And so can the Mets find some insurance here, and who can find the last 3 outs? We are working under the assumption that Edwin Diaz is not available, considering that he pitched in each of the last 2 games on consecutive nights, Wednesday and Thursday. Richard Lovelady was up in the bullpen while the Yankees were batting in the top of this inning. We'll see if he's the guy that starts throwing here in the bottom half of the 8th inning, where the Mets will have the bottom third of their order due up against Effross. He's pitched 1 inning this year. That was against the Angels. 1 scoreless inning. He's facing Brett Beatty. First pitch, swing and a miss at a fastball, 0-1. Beatty is 2 for 3 including his 9th home run of the year. That came in the 6th inning. 0-1 to Beatty. Now the pitch outside with a changeup, 1 ball and 1 strike. You want to look ahead to the 9th inning. The Yankees will be scheduled to send up Anthony Volpe, DJ LeMahieu, and Jason Dominguez, who already has 2 home runs in this game. 1-1 pitch, changeup outside, ball 2. And the Mets have Lovelady up in the bullpen right now, just tossing every couple of moments or so. He's got plenty of time to get ready. He was already loose as he was up when the Yankees were batting. 2-1, the pitch to Beatty. Swinging a little roller wide of first. Up with it is Goldschmidt. Leads Efros to the bag in time. And there's 1 away. Well, Juan Soto's got 3 hits, single, double, homer. Will make him the thriving player of the game for now. Of course, the script can still change, but ThriveWell Infusion, New York's premier infusion and injection center. Schedule your appointment at thrivewellinfusion.com. And meantime, SNY just showed Carlos Mendoza having a conversation with Reed Garrett. I don't know that any of that was geared towards potentially sending Garrett out for the 9th, because he was getting a lot of handshakes in the dugout. Here's Mauricio, takes a breaking ball inside for ball 1.
I don't know. I think we may see him at least for 1 hitter. You've got Richard Lovelady out there. You can see Jose Rosado, the bullpen coach, talking to him, talking through him.
1-0 pitch. Mauricio fouls one over towards the third base side. It's 1-1.
And again, you've got Garrett, who's been in these spots before for the Mets, and Lovelady, who's still trying to establish himself after getting re-signed by the Mets in Pittsburgh and had been DFA'd a week ago. So it's going to be maybe both of them in that 9th inning.
1-1 pitch. Outside to Mauricio, a sweeper, ball 2. Remember the play where Ronnie Mauricio was out at second base? We weren't sure if it was a tag out or a force play after Mauricio headed towards third. 2-1 pitch. Mauricio hits it in the air to right center. Deep. It appears to be playable. Bellinger on the track makes the catch just to the right of the 380 mark. 2 men away. Well, they have scored it. Nimmo, the fielder's choice. He was the hitter. Error 5 on the wide throw by Chisholm, and a putout to the second baseman LeMahieu, who clearly then is ruled to have tagged Mauricio to complete the play. That's bookkeeping. 2 out, nobody on. Here's Tyrone Taylor. First pitch, fastball over a called strike, 0-1. 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Yankees. Half of their hits home runs. 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Mets. 30% of their hits are homers. The 0-1 taken inside 1-1. If you were told there would be no math, sorry. As you roll over on the beach. 1-1 to Taylor. Efros deals. Breaking ball, grounded foul into the Yankee dugout on the third base side, and it's 1-2.
Just imagining honey. We got 12 hamburgers, you bought 8 slices of cheese. I thought there was going to be no math.
Well, sorry. We just sent you to summer school. 1-2 to Taylor. Efros delivers. Swing on a foul, back to the screen. You know, a Mets season ticket membership gives you the best seats for the best price to catch all the games here at Citi Field. Place your deposit, secure your spot for next season. Go to Mets.com/deposits for details. 1-2 to Taylor. Efros to the belt. Here's the pitch. Missed the outside corner with a sweeper. And it is 2-2. It's had a lot of twists and turns this game has this afternoon. Are there more to come? 2-2. Breaking ball fought off and fouled off the foot of Taylor. I mean, the Mets would not mind if the remainder of this game was dreadfully dull, because that would tell you nothing of significance happened. But don't you get the feeling there's more to come? It's been that kind of a game. Kind of like that Matt Franco game in 1999 we referenced earlier. Took Franco's hit to drive in Edgardo Alfonso, I believe it was, with a winning run. See, Fonzie's down in St. Lucie right now, helping that team out. 2-2 to Taylor. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Strike 3, side retired. Nothing across. We go to the 9th. Who's pitching? The end of 8. It's the Mets 6, the Yankees 5 on Odyssey Mets Radio.
What is something that you snack on that you don't worry about?
I love Uncrustables. I could eat like 10 of them in one sitting.
And no regard for his body.
I don't even wait till I thaw out.
Hey, put them in a toaster next time. Just toast it, yep. It'll change your life.
Yeah, just an incredible play by Riley Green.
You are an all-star on the field and off, bro.
I appreciate it.
Hey,
thank you.
Riley Green, bro, food genius.
Great. Work with a Weichert agent. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Sloman's is offering a free home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. Well, we go to the ninth inning at Citi Field. The Mets lead the Yankees 6-5, and Brent Grisham is going to come up to bat for Anthony Volpe to get a left-handed bat up there against Reed Garrett, who is going to begin the ninth inning. Garrett faced 4 batters and gave up a single to Jazz Chisholm, throwing 14 pitches in that 8th inning. So we'll see how this develops. One thing about Grisham, he's hit for a lot of power this year. He's got 16 homers in 74 games. He had only 9 in 76 games all of last year. So Grisham, the pinch hitter here, batting .249, 16 homers, 33 RBIs. Grisham, LeMahieu, and Dominguez due up in the ninth inning. We'll see how far they go with Garrett. The lefty Lovelady remains up in the bullpen. The outfield straight away. Garrett is ready. Beatty tightens up at third. First pitch. Missed outside. A sinker, 1 ball and no strikes. Volpe had gone 0 for 3. Garrett, the third, or at least fourth pitcher the Mets have used in this game, the third reliever behind Hagenman. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a foul, going to the backstop. It's 1-1. Shadows are still a bit of an issue as the pitcher's mound is in the daylight and there is a lot of shade around that batter's box. Generally, advantage pitcher. Lindor pulled over towards the bag at second. The 1-1 pitch, missed outside with a split. It's 2-1. Pete Alonso is practically sleeping on the first baseline. He is deep and barely a stride off of it. McNeil at second, edge of the outfield grass. 2-1 to Grisham. Garrett deals. Swinging a liner to left. Over goes Nimmo to his right. Makes the one-hand catch. 1 away. And so DJ LeMahieu, a tough right-hand batter coming up. Got off to a slow start this year. Last year, ruined for him by foot and hip injuries. But he has hit .323 over his previous 33 games coming into this one. He's got a single and a run scored. He has also struck out twice. So Garrett ready. Righty against righty, first pitch. Fastball, a little bit high, ball 1. The on-deck batter is Jason Dominguez. He has homered twice. Behind him, Aaron Judge. Drama all the way to the ninth. Outfield around towards right. Garrett's 1-0 pitch. Way inside, almost nicked LeMahieu in the foot. And it's 2-0. Taylor in center field, several steps the other way. Against LeMahieu. Now Garrett ready. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's a called strike. Cut fastball. And it's 2-1. Headed for and just caught that outside corner. Beatty deep at third now. Garrett ready. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Upstairs, ball 3. Missing with a fastball at 97. And it's 22 pitches so far for Garrett, who asked for a little time because he wants to exchange baseballs. So he rolls the original one towards the Mets dugout. Gets a fresh one from Mike Estabrook, the home plate ump. 3-1 to LeMahieu. Garrett ready. Here's the pitch. In for a called strike, a cutter, top of the zone. And it's 3-2. Tension with every pitch. Mets 6, Yankees 5. 1 out, nobody on, top of the ninth. Garrett ready. Here's the pitch. Swinging a liner towards second. Glove smothered by McNeil. Gets up, throws in time. What a play by Jeff McNeil to get LeMahieu. It was kind of a humpback liner. And McNeil, the second baseman, had to range to his left, went into a dive on the outfield grass, smothered it on one hop, and was able to get up in time to get a throw to first base in time to get LeMahieu 2 men away. And Jason Dominguez, who has 2 homers in this game, is coming up. What a play by McNeil. His homer gave the Mets the lead. He just made a huge play, and now Dominguez, batting left-handed. Garrett ready, first pitch, outside and high, ball 1, a fastball. And behind Dominguez, the guy on deck is Aaron Judge. Both sides of fans yelling at each other. The 1-0 pitch, Dominguez swings and misses at a split. It's 1-1. What an atmosphere. Most of these fans on their feet. The hitters still in the shade. The pitcher coming out of the sunlight. And Garrett has shown to this point. The 1-1. Breaking ball missed upstairs. So the sweeper high and away. It's 2-1. And after each pitch, it's hard not to look on deck and remind yourself, oh yeah, it's Judge. So Garrett would love to get Dominguez here to be sure. The 2-1 pitch. Outside and high, ball 3. Looking at the replay from the center field camera. No question about it. 3-1 to Dominguez. Homered twice, grounded to short, and drawn a walk. Again, Lindor against the left-hand hitter, just to the left of the second base bag. The 3-1 pitch. Swinging a ground ball to second. McNeil waiting on it. Has it, throws to first. Put it in the books. The Mets have taken the opener from the Yankees, and Reed Garrett, with Diaz down, gives the Mets 2 innings of shutout relief in what was at times home run derby this afternoon. It's the Mets who prevail and have won their 3rd straight, evening the season series between these teams at 2 wins apiece. Reed Garrett with a perfect 9th leaves Aaron Judge right where the Mets wanted him, in the on-deck circle. In the 9th inning for the Yankees, nothing across. The final score, the New York Mets 6 and the New York Yankees 5. Back to talk about it in a moment on